Hello, I am the Roninpawn, and welcome to a twitch.tv. Let's get the beer open. How you guys doing? It's been forever, just ages since I saw you last. Good lord, what's it been, 4 hours? Just 3.5, you say? I would have had no idea. Let's get the beer open. We just did a live stream earlier this morning for 2.5 hours. Because why not? And here we are back at the usual time for the Roninpawn's Christmas special. Roninpawn's been awake for far too fucking long. Ooh. Christmas music is bad, and you should feel bad for playing it. I shouldn't do. Look, Grolsch. It's Grolsch. Ist ein Grolschenflaven. Haven, nice lady. It's It's a premium lager apparently from the Royal Grolsches of Holland. I just ran out to the liquor store to grab myself a beer. And I've been trying new things, making sure that whatever I try claims to at least have 5% alcohol in it, because the stronger stuff tends to go a bit farther. The PBR that I was drinking so much, it's water, man. It's water. It's flavored water. Sure, there's some alcohol in there. It's flavored water. Go right through it. The Grolsch, it's water. It's water. I go right through it. Some parts of that bottle act as green screen when held against your chair. Nah. That's just how glass works. You don't know how glass works. Welcome to the Roninpawn's Christmas special. And for this Christmas special, I've prepared for you this Grolsch beer that I will continue drinking. I've decided that instead of me, going well out of my way in order to create something special for you, why don't you go out of your way and create something special for me? And that specialness can be keeping me awake, because I've been up since 10:30, somewhere around 11 p.m. last night, and problem is that that's been my sleep schedule. Waking up at 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and then being away and then going to sleep as the sun's rising like 10 a.m. So I'm trying to turn that thing back around, managed to stay in bed until 11 p.m. And so now here we are. I gotta stay up in order to, flip the sleep schedule and reverse it. So, welcome to the live stream. I got nothing. Nothing planned, nothing in pocket, nothing special. Just me and my Grolsch. Just me and my Grolsch and my weed. We can weed or we can Grolsch. What should we do? Huh? Should I start up a straw poll? Straw poll. Weed or Grolsch? Grolsch or weed? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, and I don't know what we're going to do. We were cluster trucking earlier. We don't need to do that. How about you, Big Pharma? No, I got Grolsch and weed. Why would I Big Pharma? I got Little Pharma right here in the XS Mini. I also have, my body's just turning on me at this amount of being awake. It's not even that long. If you count up the hours, 11 to 11 would be 12 hours, and then 11 to, that's another 5, 17 hours awake. That's just normal, man. Yeah, not for me. Not these days. It's funny, I used to complain. I've always complained. It was funny, I used to say, geez, if only this planet were on like a 20-hour, daylight cycle. Back in the day, you remember me complaining about that? Being like, God, I just got so much, it doesn't work out for me, I end up staying up late, and then I go to sleep, and then it's like, I used to say, I feel like what I need is a 20-hour awake schedule, followed by, a 10-hour sleep schedule. Could we get the planet to, revolve at those speeds so we can get like a 30-hour day? Yeah. Nowadays, maybe I got 12 or 14 hours in me and then I'm back down. That's just how we do. Clearly, programming in 7 billion humans will work out well when you're sleepy, high, and buzzed on booze, says Major Lord Exelworth. You know, I'm actually up for that. I'm actually up for that. I'm up for that. That for up. I'm up. I'm still up. We'll Grolsch, and we'll weed. And, ooh, look at that. We'll Grolsch and we'll weed and we'll 7 billion humans maybe, huh? Man. I look like I've been awake for more than 17 hours, don't I? What if Valkyria Chronicles suggests parallel? What if? Yeah, what if? What if? I don't want to try anything new. I'm just not there, man. I'm just not there. You know, we could play Fluffy Horde. I don't want to do that either. You may be up for it, but are you down for it? I can get down with the sick. I can get up and then get down with the sickness. At least 3 or 4 times, and then I'm pretty much spent. You know what? You know. You're very loud. You are a very loud game. That's not the right. No, it's just back to the. Wait, what? No, don't. What am I doing? You, no. You with the. Here we go again. That's me, 61 years old me. Okay, shut the fuck up. Ah, that's better. That's better. Now all I hear is the low rumble of the deck of the USS Enterprise 1701D, which is much better. So, welcome back to this son of a bitch. We have come a long way, baby. Reverse line. We have come a long way, baby. We've put a lot of colored dots next to a lot of numbers. And we're in the home stretch. Look at that. We're in the home stretch. And yet, what are the odds we actually get there? I'm not sure. Defrag disordered. Let's go to defrag disordered. And try and finish this game. It's time for a reckoning. Every time we delete data, it leaves a gap in the storage room the data used to occupy. Over time, our storage rooms become fragmented, sloppy sponges. Not gonna make a comment about you. And it becomes inefficient to access or store data. So what can we do about it? Nothing. We defrag our storage room. See all that fragmented data over there? Please remove all the gaps between those data cubes and pack it into as few rows as possible up towards the top of the room. We don't really care about the order. Yes, like a snowplow, just shove it all in there. Okay? I will shove it all in there. I've been awake too long, and this is what I'm doing? This is what you're doing. I'm playing a thinky game, a thinky, puzzly, programming game. Yep. What the hell is wrong with me? I don't know. I don't know. You know, here's what you can do. You gotta look on the bright side. At least you're not one of the people who shows up to watch this shit. You know? Hey, how you doing? Shove it top your arse, says Hologram 1. I'll get around to that. Gotta get all the beer out of it first. So, okay, I got 4 people. They need to just keep shoving things toward the top left. We're at the end of the game, so they're not. These aren't, you know, meant to be easy in any sense. So they gotta shove all the things toward the top left. How are they gonna know when they've shoved them? I wonder if I could change the cubes to have the numbers that I want on them. Information Cheering 50, Roninpawn, the year in review. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the year of pushback, and then the year pushed back, and then I got some weed. So it was a tug of war year, and I'm ending it in charge. I haven't smoked this in 3 days, which is a problem, and I would be hitting it right now because I am blasted. But I wanted beer instead. So we're grolshing. We're grolshing. How am I gonna do this? I don't show up to watch this shit. What would I watch? A blank screen? This is a podcast. Welcome to the Roninpawn's podcast. We'll be casting Tide Pods into people's mouths later. I don't know. I don't know what's a podcast. You kids with your Burt Bacharach and your hula hoops. So, Dasune, what do you do? What do you do? I can think of the easiest way to do this. Can you, Pawn? I think I can. Are you sure? No. What if? Yes. I say, what if they all just, like, went up to the top corner and then they established, okay, don't have to fuck with this, don't have to fuck with this, don't have to fuck with this. And then they go, there's a space here, and then they keep walking right until they found another blank space, and then anything they found, they moved until there wasn't any spaces. What if they did that? And then I could have one of them, you know, would do a thing, and the other would do a thing. The Roninpawn cast, yes. The marketing is all there. Now all I have to do is actually man up and do something. To be honest, one day you should totally do a full ASMR voice pawn stream where you keep the deep, sexy voice the whole time while playing a game that normally makes you rage. That would be anything, wouldn't it? That would be any game. Any game. Sit here playing Stardew Valley and be, God damn it! Won't the fucking plants grow? You know? Yeah. You know, you got 4 of them, and I guess the idea would be random. Random, right? You just do random. Do you do random? You do random. But then the problem is, how do I keep you from picking shit up again, you know? How about if I sent them all to the topmost corner, every single one of them, and then they started walking randomly down and to the right until they stumbled upon something that's something, and so forth and so on, profit. Huh? How about that? I'd like to see Pawn try to speedrun XCOM. Are there any cheats? Can you hack it? Are there skips? I'm sure there are, actually. For a game that the answer would seem like, no, there aren't any skips. It's XCOM. Yeah, but Firaxis made it. I'm sure there are skips. XCOM speedruns are easy, you just don't get attached to the soldiers. Hey! There are cheat codes built into XCOM, yeah. It's called every place that Firaxis couldn't be fucking bothered. What if they... So, pegging it into a few rows towards the top of the room is possible. The order of the cubes does not matter. You can get super OP soldiers by renaming them to special names. Oh, can you? Like Mr. T and Urkel? Urkel would be a pretty powerful one, wouldn't he? Yeah, I can't, I don't know. I don't know. You just, from the bottom, you go all the way to the bottom, you're already at the bottom now, you just start walking up. You're walking up. All the way to the bottom, and you start walking like random patterns up. Let me do that, have you step in random patterns up, and then you grab ship, you go all the way to the top with it, and then you look for an empty space to put it in. No, it's names of the devs. Really? What's his name? Ted? Ted's in there? Yeah, I suppose that would be a powerful character to have in the game. Somebody who breaks shit because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, you know, all the mechanics would just fall apart and then you'd win, right? Okay, so I still don't really know how I want to attack this. I want to go for like the cheapest don't make me work for it solution that I can come up with, and that's my problem here is I'm trying to think of like a cheap version of this solution. None of them are cheap. There aren't a lot of cheap versions that are coming to my mind. Hey, Zorbal Tuss, how you doing? The devs are powerful because they bend this reality that they constructed to their will. Maybe not to their will, but they bend it, or they break it in half. Mostly accidentally, though. Dramatian says type chat. Oh, right. That's the thing that I need to do. So that you can see all of the lovely code that I'm not doing. I haven't put a lick of code in there. Thank you for reminding me, though, Dramatian. I was not going to remember. I've been awake too long. That soldier would die the first mission after being crippled by bone spurs. Which one? The Trump one? Bone spur one? Spurs basketball? Reference? Joke? Make? Executable? Fail? 404. Colonel not responding. Yeah, I don't fucking... You do it. You people do it. Alright, what are you gonna do? We'll start. We'll say step, like, up in any of those directions, randomly. You figure it out. And then, if space that I'm on is data cube, you know, pick that shit up, I guess. Right? Pick it up. You pick up the data cube then. And then, critical error, Roninpawn.exe has encountered a problem and must close. Yeah, definitely. So you guys step up, and if it's a data cube, you pick it up, and then, what else? Else, if above me is equal to a fucking hole, then something needs to happen. Then you need to just step down, step in randomly, go head back down, and keep doing that until the down is equal to a hole. If down is not equal to a hole, if it's not equal to a hole, then, you know, keep doing that shit. Get stuck in that loop. Dramatian cheering 500, that's an option. Let chat write it for you. Really? Just let you guys do the you program and I'll just stick it in there? Okay. You do it. I don't want to do it. You do. I gotta do it. I've come this far. I can't be carried over the finish line at this point. I mean, I can be, and I probably will be. Likely dead. If the thing above me is equal to a hole, and, you know, my item is not equal to data cube, then, you know, go back down and try again. However, if your mom, so we pick it up, and then we pick it up. If the thing I'm standing on is equal to pick up, then you'd step, you'd pick it up, and then you'd go and I don't know. I wonder if anyone has programmed an AI to write the most efficient possible code for this game. You know, with as few commands as there are, it might be possible to just have it just randomly select all of the possible things in all of the possible orders and bang it in. I don't know. Get rid of all that shit. I'm not even being serious. What if, yes, what if we, step down, okay, if, let's see, so if below me is not equal to the hole, oh, but they'll step off the edge randomly, won't they? Yes, they will, Pawn. Yeah. 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 Alright. If below me is not equal to a hole, then step down, and then keep doing that. Alright, so that'll be like the starter thing. They'll go to the bottom. Then, we'll, you know, look for the nearest. We'll set mem4 equal to the nearest data cube. And then we'll go pick that shit up. Pick up mem4. And then we'll step straight up. If above me is not equal to a hole, then we'll step up, and we'll just keep doing that until we've gotten to the very top. Then we'll step to the left. Let's see, if to my left is not equal to a hole, then step to the left. And keep doing that until you've gotten, so that whole thing is, they're gonna skip this, because if below me is not equal to a hole, so they won't do this the first time, but they'll do it eventually. They're gonna just set whatever the nearest data cube is that they can pick up, boom, they'll do it. And then they'll pick it up. And then, let's see, if my item is not equal to data cube, do that, and then do that, and then, see, if my item is not equal to, how are you trying to do that? I'm trying to, like, make it so that if they both try and pick up the same data cube, so they'll do this. Alright, so set that, and then go to that, and then after you've tried to pick it up, if my item is not equal to a data cube, then do that shit again until you come up with one. In fact, do that shit again. Yeah. Yeah? Maybe. No. Just do that shit again. Yeah, find the nearest data cube. And pick it up. And then once you got a data cube, you walk to the top from wherever you happen to be, then you will step completely to the left. Then you will, if the thing that I'm stood on is not equal to a data cube, then I'll set it down. If the thing is equal to a data cube, then, let's see, and space to my right is not a hole I'm gonna fall in, then, you know, step to the right, and, you know, keep doing that shit until you come to a blank space, or you come to the end. And then you'd have to check again. You'd have to say if, because it's two different possibilities, if what I'm stood on is, so I got all the way there, if what stood on is equal to a data cube and this is a hole, that is not a hole, then keep stepping to the right. You'll fall through, and I need you to test again. If this is not equal to a data cube, then drop what you're holding. And go back to the beginning of the whole program. Now, otherwise, you are going to need to, so else, step down by one, and then go there. Yeah, and that'll keep you going until you manage to do the thing. And that should just loop infinitely. Let's see what happens when I tell them to do that shit. What is that, a basic defragmentation algorithm? Lo-fi loop? Yes, it is. And I am just wedging it in there. Just sort of, you know, tire iron. The wood is just cracking and snapping and just, you know. But I'm trying to wedge something in. I've been awake too goddamn long. The Turing test would be to see if it gets bored halfway through. Will someone in the office answer that Core M phone? What are you guys gonna do? You gonna keep walking and walking and walking, huh? What are you gonna do, mister? Oh, well, they're all gonna try and walk there first. And the lady 86, she found a space, she puts it down, and she starts heading down. And then you found an empty space, so you're gonna drop that. And then Mr. 51, you're gonna drop that too. You didn't find nothing, so you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna walk all the way back over there. Hey, shit, this thing's working. Jesus Christ. Hey, Kev Glob, hi, Pawn. Look who's actually here. Nice to see you, buddy. I'm programming, and I've been awake for not that many hours, but it feels like way too many, and I haven't had my weed today. Kev Glob, as a fellow CFS sufferer, have you tried the ganja? Have you... I can't recommend highly enough the efficacy of just smoking all the weed. All of it. You just want to smoke all the weed, Kev. You're gonna love it, trust me. It is giving me my energy back. I mean, this is not a good example. I am right now trying to get my sleep schedule back onto a human level. Oh god, she's gonna pick that 58 up again, ain't she? Yes, she is. So this is possibly an infinite loop, but everything else worked beautifully. Kev Glob chewing fine. I've never tried the weeds. No, says Kev Glob. It has given me... My thing is apparently like fibromyalgia is basically where I've been coming from on this, and I didn't necessarily know it. You know, all over pain, and using a little bit of the old indica here has taken away the pain. If I use it right, it doesn't even really hit my head, it just takes the pain away, and suddenly I can do things again. I have been my most productive self. Okay, that's enough, fellas. We know you'll never be done. My most productive self in, you know, a year, maybe, in the past couple of days. The fact that I have the strength to fight against my sleep schedule right now is, you know, amazing. Shouldn't you be using that for each command, I think it was? Oh, we've got a for each direction. Is that what that... What do you do again? For each to repeat for up to each of the 8 directions around a work for useful to scan and evaluate your surroundings. The contents of each tile around you will be placed into a memory slot, not a direction. If a tile you are scanning is empty, your memory slot will store the value of nothing. So that's to look in all of the spaces around me. So how can I get these guys without having to, like, you know, reinvent the wheel? How can I get them to just, you know, don't fuck with that. Don't touch those. And I think the answer to that is I have to reinvent the wheel. Sound about right? Basically, wait. Here's what we'll do, bitches. What could be done, bitches. Damn it, Pawn, they're just constantly looping because you need to tell them all to jump in the hole at the end. There is no end. How are they going to detect the end state? Here's an idea I've got. If you, is data cube. What if I had them keep a count of how many rows they've already filled? What if I had them, you know, calcing something? So, if the thing is not a data cube, drop and jump, else step down and jump. And I could add this in. Else, mem1 is mem1 plus 1. Okay? Now that means that their movement code has to get more complicated. It needs to get more stupider. Kev Glob cheering 1,000 bits for December the 2nd. For the week of December, for the week of December the... Oh, here it comes. Why do you love me? What is wrong with you, Kevin? And another 1,000 for the 9th. And you can see it, and you could actually, can you see it in chat? Hang on, because I changed the code. Can you see cheers in chat? Yeah. I can't really tell what it says, but I can see that it's doing something about the cheers in there. Cool. I fixed it. 1,000 for December 2nd, 1,000 for December 9th, 1,000 for December 16th, for December 23rd. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, one and all. Stop it. Oh, duck and cover pawn. He's dropping cash bombs on you. Is it raining in here? It seems to be raining men. No, money. Hallelujah. Where are the men? Bring me men as well. Bring me all of the money and the men. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hey, wow, music. Great. And this is for me. And then Zorglov. And this is for me. Throws a dime at me. Thank you, Zorglov. Thank you, Kevglov. You are appreciated. Have yourselves a merry little Christmas. Let your dicks be hard. From now on, your priapisms will cause pain. That's how it goes. Just hire a hooker with those bits as hologram one. Apparently, I got something on my mind, don't I? I keep looking back over here. I shouldn't be looking back over here, should I? Oh, God. So if I were to calculate how many rows we knows are filled, but you go there and then you walk up until it equals a whole. Until that you step down until you reach the bottom, and then and then if Maya was not, then you jump. You start walking up until it's a hole, and then when it is a hole, you walk to the left. You walk to the left. Major at Exoberth cheering 25. Have a shiny new quarter. What? I give you $5 a month already, and the occasional chuckle. I appreciate all of you, except for Jim. if the thing to my left is, so they'll walk all the way to the left. All the way to the left, and then when they get there, they'll do another thing. And it will be, what will it be? It's surely gonna be. If Mem 1 it'll be, what'll it be? It'll be, no. You'll set, give me a new mem. Can I have another mem, please? Why can't I set, oh, it's right there. So mem 2, will be equal to mem 1. And then if mem 2 is not equal to 0, then you will step down by 1, and then you will calc mem 2 equal to mem 2 minus 1 until mem 2 is 0. You just keep doing that like that. Now we have a problem here in that mem 1 will continue to increment every time they do this like walking cycle. But if they're no, this should work. Well, it's got a chance of working anyway, because this will only ever happen when they've never done that row before. Okay, So, but the whole point of that was to make sure that they don't go grabbing something from a row that they're working on. From one of the rows that has already been populated, which is another test that needs to be built in here. Is he going to hire the hooker to program this level for him? It would be helpful. It might actually get him more views and more money to hire more hookers. Yeah, blackjack. And then I could really make some money on Twitch because we know, you know, if you can find a semi-attractive woman to, you know, sit there with a webcam at a surprisingly high angle for the fact that, like, doesn't webcam usually go on the top of the monitor, ma'am? No. Looks down like this. Then we can make some money on this platform. This platform for children. So the problem that I will now have is detecting that I'm about to pick something up that's in a certain crowd. So right now I'm doing mem4 is equal to nearest data cube. I guess what I need to do then, what do you need to do? mem4 is equal to nearest data cube. If we step to mem4, right? Right. And then we, let's see, if mem1 is not 0, then I want you to step to mem4 as opposed to going straight there and picking it up. You step to mem4, and then from mem4 you will if above you is not equal to a whole, then you will step up and you will yeah you will calc mem3 equal to mem3 plus 1. There, and then you're gonna, it's basically they're gonna be taking a measurement from whichever thing that they're picking up. They're gonna walk all the way to the top. If they've got a non-zero mem1, then they will look at the thing and then they'll go all the way to the top. Counting however many spaces it is. mem3 plus 1. If mem3 is greater than 3, if it's less than 4, actually. Less than 4. And you will continue doing that. Okay, so so you do the calculation, you're figuring it out. If it's less than 4, if mem3 is less than 4, then keep doing it. If it gets to 4 or more, then stop doing this because you're wasting your time. Just pick it up and go. But if mem3 is less than 4, then you need to keep doing that until you find the hole, and then we need a consideration of some kind. Oh fuck me. Hey, Bobo! How's it going? Platform for children. This is Twitch, not Tumblr. Maybe those lovely workers shouldn't start at the bottom, but at the bottom right. We're gonna run into the same need to check. Check. So the Mem3 was gonna be, this was about, like, measuring how far we are from the top. And then seeing if the data cube itself if it occupies a space that is within one of our rows. If Mem3 is less than 4, or Mem3 is greater than less than Mem1 is less than 4 and Mem3 is less than Mem1. Ice cream. Oops, sorry for being late, Pawn. Die Hard was on TV. Merry Christmas. That's a hell of a Christmas movie right there, Die Hard is. Yeah. So what we're trying to test here is whether or not the thing is too far, and this is the number that the thing is, and then we're comparing it against Mem1, because if it's not, then the thing. So if I did an else there, and I said, if Mem is less than 4 and Mem is less than Mem1, then you know, continue doing this. Else, if Mem3 is greater than 4 or Mem3 is greater than Mem1, then you would go and you would pick it up. You would go and you would just pick it up. I'm going to have a set for Mem3 back to 0 so that check can happen more than once. With the Mem2, if Mem2 is equal to 0, step down Mem2 minus 1, jump. So you set it equal to 1. You set it equal to 1 every time that you do it again. So that's fine. That one's going to be fine. Mem3 needs to be reset, however. In fact, that Mem3 could be set beforehand, couldn't it? Mem4 is equal to the nearest data cube. Do it like that. Yeah, that's fine. That'll reset it every time. But there's something I'm missing here, and my brain is having a real hard time keeping on top of it here. Well, what am I missing? You're missing, like, the breakout state or something? Step to the top, Mem3, if it's not equal to a whole. If it is equal to a whole, then you need to be, like, considering that. When you break out of here, there needs to be, like, a final consideration that happens. So right here it'd be like, once you've done all this on loop, you've gathered the information one way or another, and then the whole concept would be, if that Mem3 that we've been generating, although we've got to bear in mind that up here we said if it's not equal to 0, then don't fucking worry about it, basically. See, if Mem1 is not equal to 0, so maybe I put you in there. If Mem3, which is the distance from one of the, whatever cube you picked up or you want to pick up, which is like this one, from the top. So you'd go 1, 2, 3, and then you'd stop wasting your time on that because it's greater than a certain number or some shit. Put that back down to 3. I think that'll be fine. So if Mem3 is greater than mem1. Mem3 is greater than mem1. If the space of it being further is greater than the how many rows you've already filled, then I want you to pick it up. In the event, however, that it is not, it's less than mem1, then go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Okay, that's a 38-line code. Let's see what happens when they start doing this shit. What? Okay, so they all just picked it up because all of their registers for mem1 were zeros. So they didn't do any of those, you know, needless considerations. She's gonna start heading down. He's gonna drop that one. I'm gonna watch the girl that's holding 92 here. We're gonna watch Quinn, because she's gonna be the one whose mem1 should increase. Now she knows that they've already filled row 1. She now knows that. The girl holding the 58, she's gonna learn that herself. Okay, why did you step down too, honey? You stepped down twice. Hun? What'd you do there? Okay, she's doing the calculation. Yeah, everybody's stepping down twice for some reason, so why are they stepping down twice? Find me somewhere where it says to step down. Step down, mem2 is equal to 0, step down, mem2 equals calc, mem2 minus 1, and then you go back and you step down again if mem2 is not equal to 0. And then you should be getting there, and mem2 should be equal to 0, so you shouldn't do the step down. Huh. Let's watch very carefully here. So you're gonna go off and do that, you're gonna go off and do that. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. So you, Quinn, where are you? Where are you at? There we go. So I want to see all of the decisions that you make, because they're stupid. Okay, now stop there. Now watch Quinn over here. Watch her move. So, if mem2 is not equal to 0, mem2 is not equal to 0, because we've set it equal to mem1. But she took a step down. Step left, and then she did that. Now... Huh. So she's gonna take another step down. And then she's gonna do that calculation. And you're gonna be like, okay, now I know what's going on. It's something, something. So why did you do that twice? You step to the very top. You do all this kind of shit. If the thing above you is, then you do that. Then you step to the left, and you keep stepping to the left until you find the edge. And mem2 is set equal to mem1. If mem2 is not equal to 0, then step down. So if, So you walk all the way back to the left, and you just keep doing that until you find the hole. And we set mem2 equal to mem1. Mem1 has been equal to 1. So you already stepped down once. So you already ran this code once when I wasn't paying attention to you. Closely enough. Where is it? It's the step down code. It's this one. So she got here. She went... Walked up there, then she walked all the way to the left. I am very confused by my own code here and now. Because you step down once. Do it again. I'm very confused by my own code. Okay, shit, I did it too quick. Now she's doing the walk, lefty majigger. And then she does the step down again. So I actually want to see you, like, when you're making this decision. When? Medicine woman. So now you're doing the whole step to the right, step to the right, step to the right deal. Ah, it's down here that you're doing the step down. Mem 1, that tells you that you're on the row, and so you do the step down there, and then 2 is not equal to 0. If mem 2 is... Could I say if mem 2 is not equal to mem 1 instead? Confused by your own code, this is how Microsoft Dev must feel every day. If mem2 is not equal to mem1, because we're just trying to subtract, so mem2 is equal to mem1, and then that won't run that time. But then once we've increased mem1, there will be a difference. You will jump back up to here. Mem2 will be equal to mem1. Well, then that will never fire. Right. That will never fire. So, is the problem actually that mem2 shouldn't be set there, equal to mem1? How about if I just do this and don't ask questions? See what happens. Girl holding the 47 is going to be the first one to, you know, break. If anybody's going to break, it's going to be Quinn. Quinn, you getting ready to break, medicine woman? Just walking all the way back now. Are you going to break, honey? Don't go and break. There you go. So she managed to drop her thing there. It's going to fuck everything up, or just most of the things. Okay, Quinn Medicine Woman is, she's behaving appropriately. She's doing what I want her to do. She didn't. She did something very horrible. She calculated an extra row. She went all the way to the top. If mem2 is greater than 1, step down. So that's what's supposed to be happening here. This is supposed to be, once she gets to the end, we want her to take the steps down. So she goes to the top, wherever she happens to be. Then she walks all the way there. She finds this leftmost corner. And then if she knows that they've already filled row 1, we want her to step down by 1 from there. 1 from there. And the problem is that this is the spot where where she's doing the step down in the calc, the mem1 majigger. She's setting how many rows she knows that they've already filled there. So you got that in your mem1, and you step down. Step down, you got that in your mem 1. I need you to, from here, knowing that you've already filled row 1, take that step down, which is what I'm trying to do here, but it's my if, you know, statement here. Can't let anybody read a line twice or even 2 lines all together. So if mem 2, that's what lo-fi loop says. If mem 2 is greater than 1, it's trying to, like, you know, gank it. It's trying to cheat it, because right now what I've got is a situation where she goes up to here, she walks all the way down there, she realizes that, you know, she's got to the end of the row, she sets her mem 1 plus 1, so that now she knows I filled this row, so she sets that 1 in memory, boom. Then she takes a step down, she walks all the way down there, and then she gets to this, and mem 2 doesn't equal, wasn't equaling 0, because she was on the row. Mem 2 needs to be kept. Mem 1 is how many rows they've filled. Mem 2 needs to be where she is. The whole idea behind Mem 2 was just to tell her how many steps she needed to take. Down. But it's fucking us up because it's being used in the wrong scenario. I mean, originally what I was trying to do was is not equal to 0 because it was just going to be a countdown. You know, this is how many steps you need to take down. So with the mem 2 equals set mem 1, what if I made that conditional? What if I went and done and gone and did and made that conditional there? So it would be the condition of invoking mem 2. One hour into the stream, we haven't even got the first half, the first level down. Yes, we have. There's one thing in the way. Everything is working right now except for this one thing that's happening on an extra loop. We've done 90% of the level. I have one bug. No, Pawns is hologram 1. No, it's not. It's not. Let's just see if they don't make, like, beautiful lines, and the only problem is that they skip the second row. In fact, Christ, I might just get lucky and they'll accidentally all set the blocks down. At some point. If you'll just, you know, time it so that you accidentally set the blocks down. That's all I need. That's all I need from you. Maybe they need a counter for how many blocks they've put down, because we know how many blocks there are, actually. Probably there's a simple and elegant solution for this, but I'm way too tired even to try. Yeah, me too. But look at me doing it. If we know how many blocks there are, we could just say, this is how going insane looks like. We could just say 5, 9, 10, 15, 18, 21, 24. And as long as the number of blocks remains 24, no matter how many times we run it through, if that doesn't change, then we could just have them count up the fact that they've walked 24 blocks. You know, they go up here and they drop one and they and then they just stop fucking with the, you know, stop touching blocks if you manage to set down 24. If you manage to walk across 24 different spaces here, then you're done. Would be one way of getting them to cancel it. Yes, but god damn it, we're so nearly. It's this whole mem2 thing, which was just supposed to be, you know, you copy mem1 over to mem2 so that you can keep track of how many rows you have filled. Bing. Let's copy this. And let's move it over here. Paste it. And then if left is not equal to a whole step to left jump, and you do the mem2 set mem1. If mem2 is not equal to 0, then take a step down. You're supposed to be skipping where you're going to be setting these blocks. Doesn't seem to be working right anyway. The mem1, set it equal to the thing, set it equal to the thing, you know, set a thing. If mem2 is not equal to 0, mem2 is equal to set the mem1. If the mem1, if mem1, if a mem1. What about that? What if you said if a mem1? You know, like if. In fact, maybe I put that if mem2 is equal to 0, if mem and the mem1 is something, right? You know, is greater than you know, like greater than 1. Mem1's greater than 1. And you do this whole steppy. See if you move the way that I want you to. That. You moved right. I'm watching her. Okay, except for that. That ain't working right. Now here's the thing. You guys keep picking shit up. Why are you picking that shit up? Why are you picking that up? Because I've got... What did I do to stop you from doing that? It was the idea of if mem3 is less than 3 and mem3 is less than mem1. So that would be, you're supposed to go to those blocks, let's get them lined up again. Give them the space and the time to line it all up and get it all worked out. Okay, now slow you down. And what you're supposed to be doing is, okay, this guy. You're supposed to come to the bottom, and then you start going up. You don't grab it. You measure it. 0 plus 2 equals 2. And then you pick it up anyway. Why did you 0 plus 2 it? Mem3 is equal to mem3 plus mem1. I think I just was meant to put that there. Yeah. Yeah. Because why would you add mem1 to mem3? Mem3 is supposed to be storing like our count of how many steps it takes us to get where we're going. You have a hole. You have a bit of a hole. Now slow down. What's going on? Okay, so you come up. And you're supposed to 1. And you're supposed to, you measure that. Now it's 2. And then you go down and you grab it. Why do you go down and you grab it? Huh? Mem3 is less than 3. And mem3 is less than mem1. Then you're supposed to like, not equal to a whole, then you step up. That keeps you doing that. If mem3 is less than mem1, then you restart the whole program, which is what I'm hoping for you to be, but instead you're dropping through that. So mem3 is not less than mem1. You get 2. How about less than or equal to? Almost. Almost. But he's counting. 1. He counted 1. He didn't keep walking. You counted 1. You didn't keep walking. What's your problem? Huh? You're supposed to keep walking, bitch. If mem3 is less than the number 3, which it should be in that case. If mem3 is less than mem1, it's got to be less than mem1 as well. Is there a way to check if a row is already filled up? Yeah, that's basically what we're doing, or at least we're keeping track as they're moving through here. Like, she now knows, because she's had to come down a row, that they have filled row 1. And everyone, you know, who has to walk that will add that up. In fact, wait a sec. D, how many? Your mem1, so you know that there's 1 row has been filled. So this will be the first time that you've gone down. See, but that's not right. You shouldn't be calculating that at the end of there. So your numbers are getting exaggerated. I see the problem. I don't want to have to fucking solve the problem. Because I just barely am able to see it. The idea of being able to, like, solve it is a whole nother thing. It's just these fucking numbers and comparisons and shit, you know? It's the what's being stored in the memory and how it's being used. They're supposed to be taking a couple of steps down. Once they get to the top left, they're supposed to take a couple of steps down. We're still on the same fucking bug that we were before. To match where they're supposed to be. Like, instead of walking this whole row again, you know, you're supposed to go up here, and because they already know that row 1 is full, take a step down. And that's all that needs to happen there, and then they'd be on the right pattern. And then they also wouldn't, like, add another row to it, but instead, they're getting to the top, they're not taking that step down, they're walking all the way over here, and they're calculating for a second time that we've already filled row 1, which gives them false data about row 2 being full, which they don't, you know, may or may not be true at that. Maybe try separating out the parts of the code into functions instead of all this complicated in and out jumping. Build a finite state machine. What? Wouldn't it be lovely if this game, you know... I have trouble reading this even on a good day, the way that this is worked out. But I mean, to my mind, in this game, this is pretty, you know, function built, you know? Here's a function. Step down and keep stepping down. Where's the other functions? It's a big fucking mess, but... it's a set of functions that tells you stop down, like this one. Step all the way up, step all the way to the left. Step down and change your mem2. Step to the right and this. Step to the down and that. This is the complicated bit. The mem2 is still the fucking problem. If mem2 is not equal to 0 and mem1 is greater than 1. let's say mem1 is greater than 0, first off. If mem2 is not equal to 0, and mem1 is greater. The whole concept is that mem1 is supposed to be like, you filled a row, you added 1 to mem1, cool. Now the next time you come by, if mem2, if mem1 has been set, if mem1 is a 1, okay, then we know that we need to like step down a certain number of spaces. So we load mem2, which we've already done up here because it really shouldn't have to be conditional. We load mem1 into mem2 to have a separate copy that we can work on, and then we just subtract 1 space from that each time that you take a step down. So you take a step down, mem2 should be equal to 1 because you've just set it equal to that. You take that step down, you stepped down 1, so now you should be right there. You do the subtraction, which makes mem2 equal to 0, so it shouldn't do it again. Then it jumps back up here, it does that test. If mem2 is not equal to 0, that's the thing. But mem1 is greater than 0 but maybe that's the problem. If mem2 is not equal to 0, or mem1 is greater than 0. If mem2 is not equal to 0, step down, subtract 1 from mem2, jump. That should do it. That should have done it a long time ago. What's the goal? The goal is to shove all of these data cubes into the least amount of space, going from top to bottom and left to right. So basically defragmenting storage space. We want to put all of these, and it doesn't matter in what order we put them there. So we're picking them up, we walk all the way to the left, and then when there's an empty space we do it. When we have to step down 1, we note that, okay, we've filled that row. So she now knows that row 1 is filled. But she just did another step down there. Why? Because we're setting mem2 equal to mem1. It doesn't matter. It fucking sorts itself out in time. Does it? I think it fucking sorts itself out. So she now knows this woman stepped down. She did. She stepped down and then she dropped it. And you dropped yours. And then, now you should walk all the way down there. Alright, or you'll fuck up like that. Sure. Eventually this should work itself out. A little bug in the code, but the bug will eventually work itself out. Now she knows that 2 rows have been filled. What are you doing? That's where you're gonna set that then, huh? Seriously? Okay, so you should have done the measurement. Now you know. You'll go up to the top corner as soon as these bitches get out of your way. Then you'll step down. What did you do? What are you moving? Why are you moving those things? Tell me about your data. Mem1, you know that there are 2 rows filled. You don't know about the 3rd row. Mem3 is how many spaces from the top. Like, no one should ever pick anything up that is that close to anything. So she comes all the way down. And she starts doing the measurement, and now she's going to pick up 47. Well, she was going to pick up 47, but she didn't. See, they're measuring. So he's come all the way down, and now he's gone to that one. And he's stepping up, and then he's adding 1. He's stepping up, he's adding 2. He's stepping up, he's adding another one. Now it's 3. And you're just not picking it up. Okay. So where's my conditions for that? It's Mem1 is that. And 2 is that. It's the Mem3 stuff, because Mem3 is the distance, so it's all this shit. So we set it to 0 at the beginning so that it can just be cleared out. Mem3 is equal to Mem3 plus 1 for each step that you take up. And here's why they're doing that wrong. I don't know why, but this is where the problem is. If Mem3 is less than 3, okay, so basically if you've taken 4 steps and you're still not at the top of it, that's canceling you out. Let's see, if Mem3 is less than or equal to Mem1. I'm just going to try getting rid of that section of the if. I don't know why that was there, really. We'll just let this run. And first we'll let them, you know, sort of defrag things generically, and then once they've generically defragged stuff, we'll look for one of them to fuck something up like they shouldn't do. Okay, yep, she came down the 2 steps. She's walking all the way over here, and now she should not step down. No, shouldn't do that again. Absolutely not. Okay, and why did you pick that one up from there, hon? Why did you, if you know that you... And, okay, so now he's measuring to see if he'll pick up 46 right now. So, Mem3 equals calc, yep. So as soon as this is, Mem3 is higher than his Mem1, which it will be now, he's gonna make a decision. Somebody else picked it up in the meantime, so he's fucked. What are you doing, woman? Quinn. Okay, you're counting down, you counted down. Now you should just start heading right, and then you'll drop it. Meanwhile, these guys have gone and picked shit up that they need to not do. Now she knows that they've filled 3 rows, which they haven't done because some other assholes picked some shit up that they really fucking didn't need to. They shouldn't have. And now no one will set anything down up here, because that was the whole plan, was you filled those rows. Why they are lifting things out of rows that they are not allowed to at that point. There is not enough alcohol in this Grolsch to get me through this live stream. Your program need to know when it's done. Yeah, that's what it needs to know. And that's what it's written to do. And somehow there is a hole here. The whole concept is that once they know that row 1 is full, you know, once an individual knows that, which by the time they're picking shit up, they all know that, they're just not supposed to do that. And I have clearly not written that part of things in here, somehow. Or it hasn't, it's not working the way that it's intended. Because once you know that row is full, that's the whole point of going back and measuring before you pick up, you know, the thing that you're looking at, is that you measure to see if it exists within those rows, and if the block exists within those rows, you don't touch it. But they're touching it anyway. They're touching it willy-nilly. They're touching it, they're just, their hands are... Is there a way to define a global variable? Try to remove the step down from the bottom of code line. 37-ish is the max. 37-ish. The step down for here, Mem1 calc, so this will happen if the thing I'm stood on is not equal to a data cube, then drop it and restart. But if the thing that I'm stood on is equal to data cube, and to my right is a hole, because that's where we'll be at this point. We'll be standing on the edge. And I'm telling them to step down and then do the thing. And you're saying, if I was to stop, let's put this in another tab, because I could go in this direction. If we weren't to step, instead we recognized that, okay, Mem1, we increase the Mem1, and then we come up here, because we've sent them from there, where? We sent you back to step left until there isn't a hole, and then the Mem2 equals set Mem1, and Mem1 will be increased, and then they'll do that, and then they'll do the step down once they reach there, until, yeah, that's an improvement. That is an immediate improvement, at least, to get them to do what I've been trying to get them to do all along, which is they'll drop it. Now she'll calculate, okay, that's where I am. I'm in row 1. Row 1 is now full. That's what she's just done. So now she's going to come down. She's going to find out that that's an empty space, and she's going to drop that. Now she knows that row 1 is full. So don't fucking touch Mem row. And now he knows. So don't touch anything that exists in row 1, fellas, is the idea. So she finds the next spot. This girl, she goes to the left. She knows about row 1, so she steps down immediately. She walks in this way, looking for an empty space. Cool. What's the nearest one? Oh, she got it. Doing measurements. And now you've picked that one up. Alright. So you didn't know that we'd already filled row 2 yet, Dee Dee. That's why you did that. So the next time that you pick something up and try and move it... See, now she's going to pick it up again because she doesn't know that we've filled row 2 yet. But she'll learn that right now. Because she's going to come down here and she's going to look for a place to set it down, and she's not going to find a place to set it down. And then she'll know, okay, I shouldn't touch anything in row 2 anymore. Now you know. Never ever touch anything in row 2, you whore. Okay. We're all on track. You're going to pick that up. You're going to go up to the top left corner, and then you're going to start stepping down as soon as the bastards get out of your way. And now it's equal to 0, so you're going to walk this way and you're going to set it down. He just picked something up. He just picked something up. What is wrong with you, Asher? You know that the top 2 rows are done, and you just picked up 93. Asher, you motherfucker. It's just amazing that it goes so long and everything works for so, you know, and then this long into the program, they start grabbing shit that they shouldn't be. And no one is ever going to fill that hole from now until the end of time. And look at how close we were to being done. Like, when she set that one down, the other lady, if Asher hadn't picked that up, Asher, you son of a bitch. It might be this might be Asher. I don't know who Asher is. One of them didn't check if row 3 was still not filled, but instead stepped down to row 4. Regardless of that, I don't even know what you're saying, but like, the problem was that someone picked something up for row 1. Everyone knew that row 1 was off limits. So there's something in my, you know, ifs, in my conditions here about them, what they're supposed to check. That isn't, it's not restricting them properly. So it's going to be about, what's it going to be about? I mean, it's either going to be that, or it's going to be the problem that I think arises sometimes where they identify the nearest data cube they want to pick up, but then someone else picks that data cube. No, they would be shouting about that. They would shout an error. You know, they would go back to it and say, there's no data cube here. I don't know. It could be that. But let's look at Mem3 for a second, and then we need to take a live stream break. And unless I figure this out in the next 3 seconds, then we need to take a live stream break. So Mem3, calc Mem3 plus 1. So this is where they're stepping up, and they're supposed to be calculating until they reach the top. If Mem3 is less than or equal to Mem1. So if Mem3, I think this is the problem. So we're calculating it. We just picked out a number. It's 3 rows from the top, and we're calculating that as we step. So we step up by 1. We count 1. We know that the first 2 rows are filled. We step up by another, we count 2. And now if Mem3 is less than or equal to Mem1, we know the 2. So now Mem1 should be equal to Mem3, it's 2. So we'll do it again. We'll step up again. And then when we get back here, we add 1 more. Now it's 3. Now Mem3 is now greater than Mem1. Which means we now fall through here and we check. If Mem3 is less than or equal to Mem1, then we abandon this and we just go somewhere else. We do something else. We start over. We leave that one where it sits. If Mem3 is still less than or equal to Mem1. So how is it that Asher could possibly go to this one with an empty Mem3, which gets set to 0 at the beginning of every iteration? How could Asher wind up here, pick it up, test, let's see, if above is not equal to a whole, then all this shit. Otherwise, if Mem3 is less than or equal to Mem1, then you just forget about that thing. If Mem3 is less than or equal to Mem1, and Mem3 is less than or equal to Mem1 at that point because it's set to 0. How the fuck did Asher manage to do that? Asher, why? Says Bobo. Asher, why? How does he manage to pick that son of a bitch up? It's in the top corner. Asher knew that he knew at least that the first top two rows, so his Mem1 would have read 2. If he went all the way to the top, was that not the 1? Is Mem4 getting fucking changed by the code, by the game in the background in some cheatsy little fashion because Mem4 is the nearest data cube, but then somebody else picked up the nearest data cube? What if somebody picks up the nearest data cube, the one that I set as being my data cube? Is the game then just saying, okay, what's the next nearest data cube, and then just changing that value on the fly without giving me a chance? Asher, why? Asher, why? Is definitely the question here. We need to take a live stream break. When we come back, we'll figure out why, Asher, why. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep digging a hole. Merry Christmas. 7-minute break. Go pee. I know I'm going to pawn not out.
Creepy, crawling out into my face. I'm gonna been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole to freedom. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole to freedom. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole to freedom. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole to freedom. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole to freedom. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole to freedom. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole. I've been digging a hole to freedom. I've been
Gentlemen, take a seat. A matter here is incomplete. We are faced with grievous doubt about the future of this town. Sources on the street are hearing. If we don't move to crush them now, then we might find what we've been fearing. Charter must be stopped. Oh no, the leaders must be dropped. Oh no, the charter must be stopped. We all know what we've got to do. By any means, it's up to you. The future of the Black Decree is in the hands of you and me.
Hello, I am the Roninpawn, and welcome back to twitch.tv/LatePawn live stream. I'm not late. Asher's late. Asher's late to the party. It's Asher. Asher's the problem. We're in 7 billion humans doing some coding, and it's a big fucking mess. I think I finally got my head a little bit in the game, but now that I'm sitting here, I feel like it's back out of the game. Let me try this, alright? The pickup, where they're actually picking up mem4. I'm going to give you another if statement. I'm going to say if mem3 is greater than 1, 2, is greater than 2, then you can pick it up. Otherwise, don't touch it. This is the 0 row. This is the 1 row. This is the 2 row. Anything that's there, don't fucking mess with that shit. Okay? Now do it. Asher, I'm... Okay. You're not okay. Because mem3 is never... Alright, so if mem3, if mem1, if... I thought I could save us. Thank you, Zorglob, for the midstream break cheer. God knows I needed the break cheer. No, I needed the break. The cheer is just a bonus. Thank you for it, Zorglob. So I need them to pick it up, but their mem3 isn't being calculated at all. Why is the mem3 not being calculated at all? Oh, well, no, it's set to 0. It's not being added because of reasons. If mem1 is not equal to 0, how do we start doing the mem3 stuff? Because mem1 is not equal to 0. So if mem3 greater than 2, and mem1 is not equal to 0, fucking do something now with your lives? Nah. No, we won't do anything with our lives. We'll just stand here. Dicks. God. Problem is they're picking stuff up that is in the top 3 rows. And I built this so that it would just fall out all these tests. They would never get to the point of picking it up unless they do all these tests unless. And then they pick it up regardless if they manage to clear all these tests. And I need one more test that prevents them from picking shit up. Which is to say, what? It's to say, if mem1 is not equal to 0, then you start doing all these tests because you're not wasting your time. If mem3 is less than or equal to mem1, then you keep stepping. Okay? Keep stepping. Otherwise, you would fall out of this, and then there's this final test that gets run, where if mem3 is less than or equal to mem1, then we don't touch it. If mem3, how about this? If mem3 is less than 2, just forget about that one. Go to the top. Because 0, 1, 2, don't touch anything that's in there. Okay? Now go do your jobs. You goddamn Ashers. Every one of you. Don't be like Asher kids. Okay? Don't. See, now you just picked something up, didn't you? In the middle of it. Didn't somebody pick something up in the middle? I'm slowing down and I'm watching all you bastards. Bastards, every one of you. Problem is I won't see you mess up until you've already messed up, and then you totally screwed me over. Okay, so she's just learning that this row is filled at this point. She learned that the row is filled, so now she's not going to try and put anything on line 2 ever again. Meanwhile, these people are setting shit down up here that don't make any goddamn sense. You just picked that one up. Now you're going to walk there. What do you know about life? You know that the first 2 rows are filled. So, 1, 2... So you'll take 2 steps down as soon as people are out of your way. Yes. Yes. Now you walk to the right. As soon as people are out of your way, anyway. There you go. And you drop that. drop that shit. You've picked up the 95. You've picked up the top left corner again. Why do you do that to me? Why do you hate me? If you wouldn't do that, boom, we were just done. We were done right there. If she wouldn't have picked that up, and how can she possibly pick that up when her Mem 3 had to have been, if Mem 3 is less than 2 at that point, how did your Mem 3 end up being greater than 2 on that square? How? And it happens once right near the end. Somebody always does that. It's some little fucking bug in here in the logic of it. And I get the feeling don't pick up is above is a hole when they can't touch row 0. That'll force them to stop fucking with me, right? If just what is above me, if what is above me is not equal to a hole, then pick up Mem 4. Try that shit. At least that'll, like, catch the bug, right? I mean, they picked up something right in the middle there for a second, too. And they're dropping things on the 4th line for some reason. See, they're moving things down on the wrong rows. What's going on? What's happening? Hey! The Sims 3 Late Night Expansion Pack! Thanks, Jim! Now they won't pick up the goddamn 51 or the 2. Okay, well, at least they're caught in that loop. Pause it. Jim just sent me the Sims 3 Late Night. Get your Sims an all-access pass to the hottest spots in town, whether they mingle with celebrities. Okay, it won't go back over the window. Or enjoy a casual night with friends. Your Sims social lives are getting a boost. Thank you, Jim. I shall add that DLC to the library. So many gifts this holiday season for the Roninpawn. Now, if only Asher would give me the gift of quit fucking with me. Alright, so how is it? Just watch carefully. Like the next person, you're all the way to the bottom. Now you're going to come up, and it's that one. Now you, sir, you're going to start counting, right? Yeah, here he is doing that stuff. So he's counting. 1 into his Mem 3. Go. So count 2. Yes. Right. And this will count 3. Sure. And your Mem 4 is 51. Okay, now if Mem 3 is less than 2, then jump. It's not, it's 3. So you skip that. If the thing above you is not equal to a hole, then pick up Mem 4. So the reason that they're not grabbing these is because when that is being conducted, they are standing with a hole above them. So now they won't pick those up because, well, they're standing there, but they're not standing on the... Okay? Step to Mem 4. And you'll do the test from the right fucking position. I still don't understand why it is. Watch very carefully. You're going to see somebody pick something up from the 2nd row at some point here. Which they shouldn't be doing. Should never be doing. He just picked something up from the 3rd row, didn't he? And that guy just set something down in the 4th row. Why? So did she. So did she. They get confused. We're all confused. See, you picked that up from the 3rd row. Yeah, you're picking things up from the 3rd row now. If this person would just get there and drop that, but he picked that up from the 3rd row. You. What's going on with you? So you stepped up, you counted 1, you stepped up, you counted 2. So if mem3 is less than 2, then you jump. How about less than or equal to? Will that keep you from picking shit up from the 3rd row? So many ashers. All I see are ashers. And now they won't touch those again for some reason. Why do you not touch 39? You're gonna go to 39. You're at 39. Now you're gonna do the calculations. You're gonna count 1. You're gonna count 2. You're gonna take another step. You didn't take another step. Why did you not take another step? She reached 2. If mem3 is less than or equal to 2, then jump. If mem3 is less than or equal to mem1, and mem1 for her is just 1. How did you never get you never had to walk the whole row? You never learned that that row 2 is full? And nobody else is close enough? And nobody else is close enough. Good God. Good God. At least the sound effects are fun, says Zorglub. Look at this giant fucking mess. Look. Let me just talk to you about the way, if I wasn't really tired and also really needed to take some weed, but I decided to drink instead. Another way that you could do this, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We know that there's 8 spaces in each row. So what we could do is have them do all the things that they're doing in terms of like finding the top left, and then start walking to the right, and then when they drop something, we could have them note, I dropped that on the 4th space. So every time they take a step, they could do a calculation and say, okay, +1, +2, +3. So this would be the 0 space. So that would be counted as 3. This would be 7. And they could hold that number in their brains and then go, okay, 3. And then they could divide 3. They could do a 7, divided by 3. They do the row length kind of a thing in order to find out whether or not, the row that they're, like, is that row full by that calculation? And that would save them having to walk. But this is faster, actually, because they don't have to do that addition every time, which is the calculation. So they're memorizing. They're supposed to be memorizing which are the rows, and in fact, if I just started it again, would I maybe just get lucky? No. Wow, they get to this point really quickly. Now the problem is she does the 1, and she does the 1 plus 2. If what's above me is not equal to a whole. So that's supposed to, she's going to jump out of this, right? If mem3 is less than or equal to mem1. mem3 is not less than or equal to mem1. She's here now. If mem3 is less than or equal to 2, then jump. mem3 is less than or equal to 2. So she fell through here. How did she fall through there? Now she's going to go all the way back down. And she's going to come back up to 8. Let's watch her carefully. So, if mem3 is less than or equal to mem1, then we jump. And her mem1 never got updated to mem2 because she never had to walk it, apparently. She was just lucky that way. If Mem3 is less than or so. Mem2 is now less than or equal to Mem1 because she never learned that row 2 is full because she never had to walk Mem2 all of the way herself. So that's the problem with her. Which means that she will never pick up 8. And apparently the same must be true of you two? You never learned that Mem1 was full either? Like, nobody calculated that... Somebody had to have. Somebody had to have walked the whole thing. Surely. So, Just watching to see if anybody ever walks all of row 2. Or if we've got a calculation here. So you dropped that one and never had to walk the whole thing. No. Nobody ever had to walk all of row 2, so they don't know that it's full. So this guy could learn that it's full by when he gets there, if we tested for the fact that the row is full or isn't full. We could have them all after they drop. If n is equal to data cube drop and then we send them back there, we could make them walk that row and find out if the rest of the row is filled yet. That could be broken as well. I could see how that could be broken also. But okay, so you drop it, and then if to your right is not equal to a hole, then step to the right. Step to the right, and then if what I'm stood on is equal to a data cube, then keep doing that over and over again. Else of this, I know this is ugly and hideous and horrible, and I don't seem to care. Then you go do that. Now, the first person who set something down should walk there, and then did she process an extra row being full? She didn't. So that part works. Now this guy is going to walk to the right and test if the rest of the row is full. It is equal to a hole, so he jumps down there and he learns that that row is full. Okay, now anyone who sets anything down in row 2... Oh, you're not holding anything. Good, we're getting errors now. Lovely. Whole new errors. Now everybody checks. Nope, that row's not full yet. And no one will ever, they just will never. Nope, no one will ever finish that row. I saw that coming before I started writing it. Add to mem if a drop is next to a hole, if the hole is on the right. Wouldn't have worked there. Because no one ever set it down. No one ever set it down to the right. Oh, God. I've just been avoiding having to rewrite the whole damn thing. But I mean, look at it. It's 45 lines of ridiculousness. I was just trying to bang it in without having to think about it. If the hole's on the right, then at least one worker knows from the previous code. This is Bobo. No one learned it that time, and they won't learn it as long as I keep rerunning this, because no one is currently setting anything down right there, so they'll never find out that they finished row 2. Because they aren't finishing row 2. And actually, now I've got the problem of if I send them all to the right, then no one is close enough for nearest to apply to anything that's over here to pick that one up, basically. Like, put it up to 12. We'll get there. We're all headed to the right. And they get like this, and part of the problem with this little loop, the big problem is that no one's ever going to touch 86 because they'll never be close enough to 86. In addition, you know, they haven't learned that the rows are filled, so they're not going to touch any of these 3. I think I have to completely rewrite the thing. We'll go back to the one that we started on. And I'm going to reset it. Okay, so it doesn't reset all of it. Now we've got a blank slate in order to write from scratch. So, we step left. If my left is not equal to a hole, I walk left, and I just keep doing that. Alright, so everybody's going to walk to the left. When it is a hole, so if my hole is, then we step left. We test on every single step if what I'm stood on is equal to a data cube pick it up. Step to the left, cha-cha-cha. So my new idea is to worm everybody through this. Everybody walks this way, and then they step up, and then they walk this way, and then they step up, and they walk this way. Or maybe everybody steps here, and then, I don't know, they come up and go all the way back. They worm up through. Once they step onto something, they pick it up. And then once they've got something in their hands, they head to space 0, 0 in the row and column set up here. And then they walk right and try and find a place to put it. And then they step down and try and find a place to put it. Step right. And we're going to run into the same goddamn problem, because once they drop what they've got, what are they going to do then? I send them all the way back down to this thing, and then I have them start walking it again. They're not going to know when the ending is, when they're supposed to be done. Unless they count as they go. That's how we'll do it. We know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces. So if we start them at the bottom, if we set mem4 equal to 0 at the beginning of this process of them snaking back and forth, and then with each step up, we add 1 to it. If we get to the point where the value is 1, 2, 3, 4, if it's equal to 5, we're done. That's the end of the program for us. If we haven't picked something up by then we stop. That's how we'll do it. So mem4 is equal to set 0. If left is not a hole, then we step to the left, and if the thing is a zeta cube, then we pick it up. If we're standing on one, then we grab it. You need to do that. the left. If it's a data cube, pick it up. And if you do pick up a data cube, then you need to break out of this thing. Which to the left is not equal to a hole. And what I'm stood on is not a data cube. No, keep it separate. So not equal to a hole, then we'll step left. If what we're stood on is equal to a data cube, then we pick it up. But if we do pick it up, we're going to have to jump out of there. And crossing these jump streams is very ugly and stupid, and I hate to do it, but look at me doing it anyway. Equal to a data cube, then pick it up, and then I need you to go and do another thing. Right? Right. No. That. That is how you do it. And else. And then jump. Cleaner. Cleaner pawn. Pick it up. And then you'll fall out of this whole sequence. You just naturally fall out of this whole sequence and into the next sequence, which will be to step if we'll just walk to the top. If above me is not equal to a hole, then we'll step up. And we'll keep doing that until we're to the very top. And then if what is to my left is not equal to a hole, then we will step to the left. And we'll keep doing that until we're at the top. Then we need to go in the opposite direction, which is to say that if what is to my right is not equal to a hole, then we step to the right. If the space that I'm stood on is not a data cube, then drop it. Else, keep doing that. Now, if you do get to the hole, and that'll be the next deal, and it'll be to say, actually, we can just tell you to step down. There's no if test that needs to be done. Step down. And then if what is to my left is not equal to a hole, step to the left. And if what I'm stood on is not equal to a data cube, then drop it. Else, carry on. Now, there's an immediate problem here, and that is that we're going to take that step before we go, before we do the stepping. So I think that actually has to happen like that. The step inside there. Probably the same up here. If not is equal to, then otherwise you step to the left and you jump. Same thing over here. We're walking right. Step to our right and then jump. Yes. So this is walking back in the other direction to the left now. If now once we get to that thing, we need to, go down again and then go to the right. So the step down occurs. This is the step up. This is the step left that gets us to the beginning, and then we start doing the right, and then we do that. Step to the right, and then we do the step down, and we go to the left. So if I did from here another step down, and then I jump you back up to doing the code for walking to the right. Now the deal is, if the data cube then drop, but then I need you to go back into the other sequence. I need you to find your way down to the bottom, actually, is what needs to happen there. So, in all of these instances where we're dropping, we need you to find yourself to the bottom right. Which I'm going to just do all the way down here. So wherever we drop something, we're going to have to jump. And those are the only two places where we drop, right? Yes, it is. So now from wherever you dropped it, I need you to, if what is below me is not equal to a hole, then step down. Keep doing that until you get there to the bottom. And actually, that's good enough. Once you're through there, once you're back to the bottom, I don't need you to go to the right. I don't need you to reset completely. I just need you to come all the way back up to here. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Now, for each step up that is taken, which is right here, I need you to increase your mem4. Mem4 needs to be mem4 plus 1. You take the step up. No, you do the mem4 calculation. That's the only place we're doing the step up, right? That's how we get up. Yeah? So right now we're going to the left, and then we're stepping up one, and then we need to be going back in the other direction to the right. If to the left is not equal to a hole, then all this shit, and then we do the step up, and then we would fall through, and if to the left is not equal to a hole, then step to the left, jump, and then if to the right is not equal to a hole, drop. So I skipped another portion of this. I needed more snake code. Right? We step to the left, then we take a step up, then we need to start snaking in the other direction. If to my right is not equal to a hole. That's going to be a problem too. It actually won't be because of the way that the cubes are laid out, so fuck it. Alright, if to my right is not equal to a hole, then we do the whole thing here, which is we then have another nested if statement, which is if what I'm stood on is equal to a data cube, then pick it up. Otherwise, we step to the right, and then we stick in that jump. We'll be up, left, up, right, and then, in any instance where we've picked one of these things up, we're actually going to have to jump out. Oh, the jumps. Oh, the crazy jumps. To jump out to the one where we start walking up. Where's that in the code? Left is not equal to a whole step, and then the other thing, and then if to the right is not equal to a whole And that's the drop code. What about getting to the top? What about getting to the top? I swear to fucking Christ I did this. Didn't I? Good enough for AAA. Did I not? Did I not do the whole fucking thing? What did I just undo whatever I just did right there? Because I'm just really confused now. So, step to the left from wherever the fuck you guys happen to fucking be. In fact, you know what? When you first start this code, step up by 1. All of you. Don't waste any of our time. In fact, yeah, that'll be fine. Step up by 1. You step to the left until you hit the edge. Boom, it'll be there. And then, if what you're stood on at any point while you're taking these steps happens to be a fucking data cube, then you pick it up, and then you'll jump out to the other section as soon as I can find that. So we've got the walking left bit. Then we've got the stepping up by 1 bit, which gets us to go up 1, and we calculate that we're going up 1. And then we start going to the right. We go to the right. And we do all that. If we run into something, we pick it up. And you are the one that needs to get the hell out of there. I'll be back for you in a minute. But otherwise, you just keep stepping to the right and you stay inside that loop. When you're done with that, I've got this if left is not equal to a hole, step left nonsense. And did I not have the walk to the top part? I swear to fucking Christ I did. Okay. What the fuck ever. It's fine. It's fine. Just, I don't know where it went. But it's not there. Apparently I never did it. Okay. I just imagined, 5 minutes of my life. If up is not equal to a whole, fucking step up. And just keep doing that, and then if left, and that gets us to the top left part of the thing, gets us over here, so that we can start this whole other section. Now that that's in, I can start putting in the jumps first off. Anytime we pick something up, we immediately want to get out and start doing this. Okay, so if we pick something up, just like we did with the drops, we have to jump straight to the walk, the long walk to the top right. So it's the only 2 situations which we'll pick something up. So we do the going up, the mem forward calc, the step up, then we start walking right. We walk right for a bit. If we fall out of that because we've reached a hole, then we're going to have to rewrite this code, which is if top is not equal to... No. Who cares about top? Well, what else would we be doing? We'd be doing if mem4 is less than 0. Actually 0, 1, 2, 3. So if it's less than or equal to the number 3, step up. Calc mem4 is equal to mem4 plus 1. And then start going in the opposite direction by coming back up to this and doing the whole if left bit again. Now I'm going to change this one too. Don't worry about whether it's a hole or not. You should never get there. So if mem4 is less than or equal to 3, then mem4 plus 1, step up. And as a matter of fact, you'd be there in order to make sure that that works correctly. Yeah. Okay. What's the last thing? Out of curiosity, I looked at a guide. Apparently you can do this in just 23 steps. Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. I'm up to 51. What's the last little niggle? There's a niggle, and like my brain knew about it a second ago. And now I don't know about the niggle. Well, we'll forget the niggle. Just carry on. Okay, now you're walking straight up every time. Good for you. Good for you. Where's my thing? It's here. If mem4 is less than or equal to 3, mem4, step up. No need to jump. There is no jump there. Okay, same thing down here. If mem4 is less than or equal to 3, that jump goes all the way back up, though. That's supposed to be there. Yep, you step up, and now you're in the right code. You found something, so now you're going to go straight up and go to there. Start doing that code. So now we'll watch to see if this guy is going to find this spot. Oh, I know what the last little niggle is. It's, else cases. Else cases where I tell them, you're done. Basically, if their mem4 ever equals plus 4, then they're done. But things seem to be working, if but slowly. We're doing the snake method. Okay, so there's the other problem. Yeah, see, I didn't tell them that they're done. Okay, so there's two problems. One is that they didn't drop it there, and the reason they didn't drop it there is because they've got all these tests that tell them if thing is a hole, then. And the checks for the data cubes really need to be outside the if hole thing. I was trying to just avoid that because I saw that after we were deep into it, and I realized that it wouldn't be a problem here because all of the things that we need to move are not against the wall, but down here it does need to be fixed. The other thing is, let's do the easy one, which is the end. So if mem4 is less than or equal to 3, and step up, mem4, calc mem4, and jump, I'm going to give you an else condition, end. If mem4 is greater than 3, then just end. Because we don't want you placing anything else ever again. You're done. You're done. You're done. Same thing down here. mem4, yep, else, just end. So that takes care of that part of things. The other part of things down here is that where we're looking at the drops, we need the drop checks to be sort of handled first. If what I'm stood on is equal to a data cube, then drop and jump out. Else, if that, then these, and so forth. Yeah. So that's what I need to do in both of those instances. So pull you up. You need to be the first check. This comes in an else statement. And then you do those things. And then hopefully that won't break things. If it's drop and then you jump. I might not need the jumps now. All these jumps. Yeah, you probably do. Yeah, I probably fucking do. Try that. Okay, so doing the snake bit. Yeah. Looking good so far, kids. She picked it up. She picked it up. So did he. So wait a second, bitches. Because you're about to pick one up too. I want to watch this. Your mem4 is equal to 3. Now it's equal to 4. And you're still picking shit up. So if mem4 is greater than or equal to 3, then step up mem4 plus 1. Otherwise, end. can I do this up here? I do that outside of everything, without the if check. Because we know they've come to the end of the row there. So if I do that, I do the mem thing, and then if, and then the end there. I think that should... Okay, go. Okay, so the last two people are in line, and all we want from you, Dee Dee, is to just go kill yourself. Just go kill yourself. She did. She did. She murdered herself. Alright. We did it. Ah. Just 2.5 hours. Nah, it wasn't that, actually. We did it! Let's celebrate with the beer. And some weed. And some never play this game again. It's the end levels. They're not easy, and I am not fit for doing them presently. Hype, says Orbital Sus, but we did it anyway. I'm going away for a little while. Yeah, me too. To a clinic upstate. They're coming to take me away. Ha ha ho ho hee hee to the funny farm. Life is beautiful all day long. No. I won't be back. I'm sure your other boss will do a great job with whatever it is he does when I'm not here. What? Yes, maybe I'll get a little cottage on the lake. You're retiring? Maybe I'll write some mystery novels. And I always thought I'd make an excellent conductor on a ghost train. Is it? Are you going away to kill yourself? I didn't. I was talking about another woman. Either way, I expect I'll have a cabana boy. Oh, well. You do that, then. You enjoy yourself. Please don't visit. You won't. Yay! Use 28 or fewer commands. How's double that? Is double that good? Is that okay? Something around double that? Yeah, we did it. We don't care about optimization. I shouldn't be doing this anyway. My brain. Oh, defrag ordered, defrag disordered. Oh, fuck, it's a binary counter. What is this? That is the question, isn't it? What is this life? How do they keep coming up with this stuff? Okay, well, welcome to the counting machine. Let's see. Okay, the goal here is to make that big green screen count from 0 to 15. 0, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, 15. Sounds easy enough, but you need to represent those numbers in binary, using those 4 green sensors on the left. How do you use those sensors? Just put a cube on them to turn them on. Is that all it takes? When you have the sensor inputs set up how you like them, someone needs to press the big red button. This will scrape the sensor inputs and convert them into a number on that big screen. The first sensor, all the way on the right, represents 1, the next represents 2, then 4, then 8. Red button adds them all up, blam. Displays it on that green screen. It's all so simple. I am familiar with some binary. I was actually very good in my computer repair course. Age 17? 16? 17? At the binary maths, back when I was doing it on a regular basis. When I was doing it on a regular, I was rather good at it. Wouldn't just scrolling up in chat. Okay. Make the green... Okay, so what's the number again? We need to display the number what? Display each of the numbers from 0 to 15 in order. Oh, okay, I see. Lo-Fi Loop cheered 400. Hype, cheer 400, well done. Oh, you had some trouble. You had some trouble there with the cheering thing. How does it work then? Is it like exclamation point cheer for... Is it all one word? Because I've never actually cheered anything. I don't give people money. People give me money. If I had money to give, I'd give. I mean, I give. I don't give. I don't give. I'm gonna be honest. I know a bit about binaries. how I'm supposed to get these 4 people. This is the role I was born to play, baby. I miss modem sound. I'm an important, valuable member of this team. What do you think is over there? Hey, you. Yeah. How am I supposed to get these 4 people to press the buttons that I wish them to press when I wish them to press? Without the space. So you do it all, it is all one word. Oh, is it just cheer 400, no exclamation point? Because, I mean, you always see it as the... You don't give a Rotom's bottom pawn? Rat's ass? Rat's ass? I give a rat's ass about how to do the cheer, because I still don't get it. I'm not trying to fool you into typing it in again. I'm just, I still don't understand. No exclamation point? Or is there an exclamation? I don't know. Make the green numbers display all of the numbers from 0 to 15 in order. So, she would press the button, and then you'd come down and hit that, and then she'd press the button. Major order is over with. Cheers 5. Cheer, space 5, no space, that's all. So no exclamation point, just the word cheer, and then the number that you want to cheer after it. I see. I get it now. No exclamation point and no space, says Zorbo. Okay, got it. So she would come down, hit the button, then you would do the thing, then she'd hit the button. Then we need to do 2, which means you'd have to hit it and you'd have to hit it, and then she'd hit the button. And then we'd go on to the 3, which means you'd have to hit it because it'd be in the 0 state. So you'd have to hit it, you'd have to switch to the... No, you wouldn't hit anything because that's already set up, so there's the 2 and the 1. So it's you, then you and you, then you and you and you, then just you and you. I'm just gonna... She's gonna happen every cycle. Let's just focus on these girls. Sorry, gentlemen. I wish I had bits to give, says Zorbaltus. Oh, don't worry about it. Major orders was cheering 5 bits given on behalf of Zorbaltus. See? We got you covered. So, first nothing, then you hit, then you both hit, then... So that... It's in the 1 state now. No, that's just, you gotta place it on there. Right. So, 1, and then, because it'll be on there, you gotta take it off, he's gotta put it on. 2, and then you gotta put it on, and then 3. And then you gotta put it on, and you guys gotta take both of them off for 4. And then it's gotta be you for 5, and then off, and then 6. I'm working it through in my head to see if there's a pattern, and it seems like there is. And then everybody's gotta, no, then you gotta put that down for 7, then everybody's gotta take them off, and then 8, and then 9, and then that comes off, and then 10, and then 11, and then those come off, and then that goes on for 12. And then 13, and then back off, 14, and then 15. So is this is the bit shifting that's going on here, is it basically if the one to the right of you is active, then grab it? Pretty sure it's just all the cubes on the things. I have to display each of the numbers from 0 to 15 in order. Place cubes on any or all of the 4 green sensors. Press the big red up button to update the display. I thought they just wanted me to display 15 when he described it, but what it says up there is they have to display each of them from 0 to 15. So I'm actually just going to write down in binary all those numbers so that I can try and see the pattern on the page. So first it's 0, 0, 0, 0, then it's going to be 1, 0, 0, 0. I'm speaking right to left here. Then it's going to be 0, 1, 0, 0. Then it's going to be 1, 1, 0, 0. Then it's going to be 1, well, 0, 0, 1, 0. Yeah, right to left has got to be really confusing. And then it'll be 1, 0, 1, 0. And then it will be 0, 1, 1, 0. And then it will be 1, 1, 1, 0. And then it will be 0, 0, 0, 1. And then 1, 0, 0, 1. And then 0, 1, 0, 1. Then 1, 1, 0, 1. And then 0, 0, 1. 1. And then 1, 0, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1, 1. And then 1, 1, 1, 1. Sorry for reading right to left. But yeah, so if this is going in, if I'm trying to find a pattern here, then from the all zero state, you flip the furthest to the right, and then you switch both of them. You flop both of the right 2 bits, you know, so the 0, 1 becomes a 1, 0. Now I'm reading left to right. Now it's really confusing. And then you hit that one. And then if both of those are the same, then the one to the left gets hit. I'm just trying to figure out what the if condition is. Like, they're teaching me, you know, binary math from a bit flipping perspective that I've never really worked with before. Yeah. I was good at the counting up of binary. I was good at doing math, actually, in binary. Once upon a time. It's been ages, so I've forgotten all of the little, you know, ways that you do this kind of stuff. They're basically blinking constantly, each at half the speed than the one to the right. Alright, yeah, that helps me. Yeah, that helps me a lot. Yeah, because the one on the right is always going to be, every other cycle, it's going to be off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, and so forth and so on, all the way down. And then the one in the one in from the right is going to be off, off, on, off, on, off, on. And then 3 from the right is going to be off 4, on 4, off 4, on 4. And then the one at the end is off for half the cycle and then on for half the cycle. So off 8 and on 8. So each of them, yeah, is a multiple of the previous, you know? If it's a 1 cycle on the right, then it's a 2 cycle, it's 1 plus 1 to give 2 on that cycle, and then it's 2 plus 2 in order to give you the next cycle, and then it's 4 plus 4 to give you the next cycle. Okay. So, that is the whole fucking thing right there, Lo-Fi Loop. You just, like, I could have sat here and looked at this for ages and not realized that that's what's going on. And you know what's really funny about that? I was just doing this in a different way, in non-binary. Come over here, and I'll see if I can't show you. I angle it correctly, so that it doesn't get swamped out by the lights. I was doing something so fucking similar. Again, working on Sudoku math and some principles that would allow me to populate a database with all of the possible 9-digit numbers that are non-repeating. And it works on a similar principle to this. And of course, did that pop into my head? Of course not. Thank God Lo-Fi Loop. So yeah. If I can just figure out who each person is, which is easy enough to do from the very beginning, then I can just have her switch her button every time and then this guy switch it every other time, and this guy switch it every 4th time, and this guy switch it every 8th time. Something like that. Let's figure out who's who then, to start with. So, if to my right is not equal to a worker, then... Let's see. So first off, everybody's going to... they're going to set mem4... I don't know why I feel like... I always start at the bottom. Set mem4 equal to... No. You have nearest? You don't have nearest. Fuck it. Pick up what's below you. Okay, now first off, just watch them do that. Okay, so they stood where they were. So, step down once. Now pick it up. Step down. And then do I have to step down twice? Is it going to count whether I'm standing on it or not? When I go to drop. Okay. We'll see. So, first things first, if to my upper left is equal to a worker, then I'm the person who presses the buttons. I will have step down twice. Press the big red button. Okay, so you shouldn't step down. Then. No. If to my upper left is not equal to a worker, then I'll step down again. So that I can just pick it up and drop it, pick it up and drop it, pick it up and drop it. That's how we'll do it. Interestingly, this one is also supposedly able to be done in 23 commands. Great. Well, we definitely have to define who's who. She has to know that she's the worker girl, and once we've defined who she is, so we can do an else thing here in order to get that to happen. So if to the upper is not equal to a worker, then we'll step down, which means all of them will step down twice, and they'll be holding the thing that they picked up. She will stand on that, I guess, is how she activates it. So you, madam, need to be in a certain... Like, this needs to be caught, you know? Everything needs to happen at the same sequence, cycle timing. That's what needs to be done here. So it's not so much an if statement. They all step down onto their positions. Actually, no. You tell? How about if you tell? Tell everyone... ready. So if you're not equal to a worker, then you'll step down and you'll listen for ready. She won't shoot. That's gonna... She's not gonna... We need to get him on the right cycle. Okay. The fact that she errors out on pickup actually might mean that we don't really need to do any of that. Right? I wasn't expecting her to error out on pickup. So she hit the 0. Right. Okay. This works. Well, the 0's already there, though. Do I have to hit 0? Because it's already displayed. Where do I start? I get this timing going. Do they have to shout at each other? Can we just get them in the sequence without having to talk to one another? And they'd be programmatically just kept in sequence. So, if to my right is not equal to a worker, then drop. So you, I just want her on like a timing thing, and I need to delay her a little bit every time. So you will step up, and then you'll pick up, and there's nothing for you to pick up. So you'll do a little error there. You step up, pick up, so there you step down. That should actually work. Should it? Down there, comes up. Yeah. That'll work. So that's the little delay that we needed. Now, this woman, if is to my right is not equal to a worker, drop, except for that she's going to be standing next to you. So actually, we need you to... It's going to change that works. I can't do that then. So you step down, you pick up, and then you'll step back up, and then you'll just do this forever, because you're that girl, and that's all you're going to do with your life. So you come down. Yeah, I know there's nothing for you to pick up. She'll just keep hitting that button. Okay. No, I got it. I got it, buddy. I'm just setting things up. So if to the right is not equal to a worker, that'll be you. And it's gonna be you, hon, right? Unless you were testing when she was stood there, which would be not great. Because you didn't drop it, did you? Yeah, you did your test right as she was passing. It fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. God damn it. Just the little things. I'm just trying to get started here in a way that makes, you know, sense and cunt. If to my left is equal to a data cube, just as good, because it sees there's a data cube there, and then that's her. It's not that there aren't easy ways to do this, it's just I kind of want to do it well, because I can see how it needs to be done. How about... if below me is equal to a data cube, then pick up, and everybody steps down. And then when she does her test, she puts it down, and that girl is supposed to be in an infinite loop. If my left is equal to a data cube, which it should have been, right? Alright, so I'll put you up there. Yeah, no, that ain't right. So, what is the condition here? So everybody steps down twice. And then you check to your left before they caught up to you. So this isn't going to work either, because the timing's going to be wrong. See, she looked for him right before anybody got there. Because now she's not doing the pickup. Step, pickup. Everybody steps down. Then you test for that while they start picking up. Alright, that gets things moving. That works. So there's 0, there's 1. And then you drop that. Let's see the timing again. She sets that down. What if instead of doing a pickup, did you do a calc? Mem1 is equal to mem1 plus 1. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. I just want to like have a consistent like timer. Because I'm gonna need it like the same timer to work for the other people. So if we then, for the woman who's setting hers down, she does the drop, then she calcs her mem1 who's equal to mem1 plus 1. And then she picks up. She stood on. And then, what the hell? We'll have it mimic what's going on. And then you just keep doing that forever because that's what you do, bae. Is the timing of that right? So you step onto 0, and then you step and it's 1, and then she picks it up, and you step on it and it's 0, and then you step and it's 1, and then it's 0. Yeah, so the timing is working out for that, and that's exactly what we want from those two. And then the person who's next to her needs to do something else. So, should I do this then with a roll call to start? Where the woman who detects that there's no one to her right, okay, you know, whispers to the person to her left a certain thing, which indicates that you should set your value to like 2, and then you pick it up and put it down, and that sort of a thing. How would you do that? Would you do like a roll call where one person does the shout? Like, what if the girl in the green pixie tails there, who's hitting the button, what if she did like a shout at the beginning and said, "Okay, everybody," if she said "okay," and everybody's listening, and because she said "okay," everybody gets a value of 1, and then the other girl detects that she's... No. Yes, actually. Yes. I'm trying to figure out a way of doing this programmatically, but I don't think it exists in this game. My idea was that if the green pixie tail girl said hi once, and everybody had the same algorithm for if you hear the word hi, then add a certain digit, you know, add 1 to your counter, and then the woman on the right said hi to everyone, and then everyone added a digit, and then the next person next to her said hi, and then there'd be an added a digit, and then you could get, like, everybody could be, you know, there'd be a 1 place, a 2 place, a 3 place, and a 4 place. But you can't really... the amount of code that it would take to do that negates the benefit of doing it that way. Because of the way that this game works. One, you have to stop and wait and listen. So you'd still have to have the code for detecting who this person is just in order to have them say hi to the next person. I think we're going to end up having to do that anyway, aren't we? Kind of. I don't know, but I know we need another live stream break. I know that. We've been going for too long, and I need another live stream break before I dig into this, and it will help me clear my thoughts without sitting here. Stepping away from it will work. Vaughn looks so confused. Yeah, it's like, it's the same kind of thing that I had with the Sudoku thing that I was writing up last night, where it's like, I understand the theory. Now, if only I knew everything I needed to know about the language. the language that I'm working in, or, you know, it's like, I know what I want to do, I just don't know how to do what I want to do. So let's take that live stream break, and stepping away from it for a couple of seconds will get me there, for a couple of minutes even, will help get me there. So, 7-minute break. Feel free to grab yourself a pee or take a drink, whatever you need to do. And join me back here in 7 minutes for the stunning conclusion of counting in binary by flipping switches on and off. Can't Greenhead Girl init the others? She can. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not that's beneficial. I guess I could just do on the page, but in my head I'm already going... It's not gonna make a goddamn bit of difference, is it? You know, if they could tell each other, if you could say to the person next to you, 1, and then add 1 to it, you know, and then say whatever the number is now in your X, you know, in your variable, and then add, and then say that number, and then they've got that number, and then they say it to the person next to them. But that ain't how this works in this game, which is really good. It's really good. Back 7 minutes with it in a pawn. Not out. Got it. Hello, I am the Roninpawn, and welcome back to twitch.tv/Roninpawn live stream on a twitch.tv/Roninpawn live stream. We're playing 7 billion humans. They're right back there, all 7 billion of them. I was thinking about leaving that going in the background, but wow, the rumblings of the game are rumbly, aren't they? By the way, are there leaves falling? Or is this snow? It's dirty snow. Why would it be so dirty up here in the... Is this why the robots constructed this tower? Have we nuclearized the planet? Why would the snow be this dirty? We're near the top of the tower. I was gonna say, if those are leaves, how did a tree grow this tall? But it looks like it's dirty snow. No, they're leaves. They're leaves. How is there a tree this tall? We're like 56 stories up. We build this in California's redwood forest? This is weird. The snow is made of murder. Thank you, Zorglaf, for the midstream break cheer. It's not a tall tree. Well, where is it coming from? We're 56 stories up this friggin' elevator by now, at least. 50 up. Rooftop gardens next door. Oh, that's it. We're 66 stories. Oh, we're on Satan's floor. Is that why it's so different? I've figured it out. We're fine. If to my top left is equal to a worker, then I'm the green-haired girl. And for now, we're not going to worry about her. She's just going to be ended early. So, everyone else here is going to initialize themselves by first taking a step down, then doing a pickup, then doing a step down. In fact, can I just, just group it. It'll be easier to read. So step, pick up, step. Now we're all stood where we need to be, right? In fact, step, pick up, step. Ooh, that'll be a little bit of a trick there. But I got the basic premise figured out here. If, to my right is not a worker, okay? No. Just go away. I don't even want to think about you. If to my right, if to my right is the worker, then listen for okay. Okay, go. So you'll listen, which means that she won't listen because there ain't nobody to her right. Hopefully, at this point. Just double check that. Yeah, there ain't nobody to her right now, anyway. So, they'll all listen. She'll be the only one. So you pick up... If we don't pick them up, it's better. Is it better? It's better. Why is it better? It's better. Trust me. Well, maybe. I don't know. I might have to change it later. But we all step down. Does it still work? Yeah. Except for you'll also be stuck in a listen there because she didn't do a thing. You step down too and then end, okay? Everybody step down so that it still works. Now, all of those three will be listening and waiting, which is just fine. The one woman, who did not listen will tell just the person to her left, okay. And then when they hear okay, what he's gonna do is he's going to set the value of his mem1, we'll do mem1 this time, to whatever's down and to the left of him. No, whatever's to the right of him, which should be the data cube. I might not want to have them step at all here, do I? Just, for now, take out all the steps. We'll come back to that. So that still works, right? And then he heard. Cool. So he's gonna listen. He's gonna set his mem1 to that. He's actually gonna do a calc. Can I do a calc directly without having to set mem1? Mem1 is equal to the calc of what is down there plus what is down there. Okay? Then, once he's got that, he's going to pick up the block. Shit. He's going to have to step down. This is the problem, is the stepping and the fact that she's not going to do it and stuff like that. So you guys do need to step down once, and then if you look to your right, step down, step down. I'm just not sure if it's going to set it right, but we'll find out, I guess. So they'll all step down, and then instead of calcing to what's lower and right, you'll calc what this is plus what it is. So he's just doubling that. He's going to double this, and then he's going to end up with 2. Alright? This lady's going to have 1. He's going to have 2 in his mind. And then he's going to pick up what he stood on. He's going to write it. He's going to write it. He's gonna write it. Is what he's gonna do. They didn't give me the right command. They didn't give me the right command on this level. Oh, just fuck you, guys. God damn it. Step, pick up, drop, calc, set, tell, listen, if, jump, end. I mean, it wasn't exactly going to make it easy. You're talking about binary math. Why the fuck would you make that choice to take that away? I mean, it was a brilliant little solution. What I was going to do is have this guy look to his right, okay? She was going to start it off. She whispers to in ear, okay, you go. And then he's going to look there, and he's going to say, okay, that's a 1, so I'm going to add 1 plus 1. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to change this. I'm going to write 2 to it. I write a 2 to it now. And then there's a 2 there, and then this guy looks over there, he whispers to him, this guy whispers to him, okay, now you can go, and then he would look down and say, oh, that's a 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and then he'd write the 4 down there, and then he'd set it back down, then he'd whisper to her, and she'd have, so it would be 8, 4, 2, and 1. And I know you're doing the whole binary thing here, you sons of bitches, but if I could write to it, then I could do what I wanted to do in the first place, which was have them communicate with each other in a way where they just tell each other, you know, 2, 8, and it would have been programmatic, and it would have been beautiful because everyone could just do the same thing. He'd end up with a 2 without having to invoke the word 2. He'd end up with a 4, she'd end up with an 8. They'd have those in their memories. Yeah, they'd have those in their memories just naturally by the recursion of it. And then they'd be able to count down from 2 and from 4 and from 8 in order to find out when they should be picking up and dropping their blocks. And they could all be in a perfect loop, and it would be beautiful and simple, but because I cannot write, because they've given me a command that then they chose to take away on this level in order to reinforce this thing, now the only way that I can think of doing it is the way that I started with, which is basically to have, you know, a different command for every fucking person. Instead of being lovely and algorithmic, I have to have, you know, this woman can detect that she's her, and she'll start it off and she'll whisper to the other person, but she'll whisper okay to him, and because he's listening for okay, you know, he'll know that he's supposed to set his own internal memory to 2, and I'll have to have code for that. And then he'll whisper go to that guy, and then this guy will know, oh, well, since it's go, because he's listening for, like, I'm not confused, I'm pissed, Hologram 1, because this was gonna be good, and now it's just gonna be fucking ugly and stupid, and I hate it. Because it's stupid and it's ugly, and I hate it, and I hate it, it's ugly, it's stupid. And I hate it, it's ugly. It's stupid. Pissed pawn, that's better. Yeah. So now that I can't communicate those values to each person, how do I do this? How about, for starting out, says Major Duxelworth, because I can't tell them even what to listen for, you know? Yeah, I can't even tell them to listen for, like, have him listen for okay and him listen for go. Because, can I? I can if I nest it, I guess? Why can you not tell them to listen for something, says Hologram 1? Because, like, they could listen for something, but they can't listen for discrete values? Because it would have to be nested. Like, how do I tell this guy to listen for okay, but then tell this guy to listen for go? I would have to be able to identify him discretely from this guy. Like, this woman I could identify by saying, okay, there's no one to your left, and, you know, there's nothing to the bottom left or something like that. But this guy's left has a coworker, his right has a coworker, below him are 3 blocks, above him are 3 empty spaces. This guy's left has a coworker, right has a coworker, below him are 3, and above him are 3. They have the same conditions for both of those guys. So it's just, you know, it's a convolution that doesn't have to exist. Like, once I finally do remember and start to, like, try and use the mechanics that the game has given me, they've decided to arbitrarily remove me of those mechanics because they want to reinforce their whole binary thing, which is ones and zeros. But if I could just write there, I have a beautiful solution. Can you identify that guy by having everyone listen for something the woman on the left says? I can't imagine a way of doing it that way. Because I can, like, have her say okay to him, and then him say okay to him, and then him say okay to him, but that doesn't communicate to each of them, like, where they stand in terms of, like, what needs to be done here. You know, that he needs to be an off-on kind of a guy, which means I'm coming back to my binary, and even though there is this beautiful, like, bit switching thing where there is a pattern to off-on, that, was it lo-fi loop? That they're blinking? Even though there's that beautiful pattern that we could use, I don't think we can use it. I think what they want me to do is establish a pattern based on what all of the... whether there's a data cube down or there isn't a data cube down at a certain time for each person. Ooh, Mazard Exobirth. Pick up, down, step down. If upper left is equal to a worker, step up, tell ready. Okay. Where is that going? Oh. Because again, the problem, you know, remains that they don't know who they are, and they will not know who they are. We could get the woman on the right and the woman on the left to know who they are in the sequence, but the 2 boys in the middle, they ain't gonna know shit about shit. And because of the way that the listen and the tell commands work here, I don't think that you can communicate to them who they are. They're just 2 interchangeable people standing in the middle of a line with the same conditions all around them. Guys in the middle of 2 women not knowing anything. Sounds about right, really, says Hologram 1. I think they're trying to force me to discover an even deeper pattern in the binary, which is for, on every cycle, everyone looks down to see what's put down. And I can start it off with the woman on the right, But once the woman on the right starts it off, she would need to change hers every single time, which is fine. She can do that. Whereas the woman all the way on the left doesn't put anything down until the same condition exists as when everything started. Until the turn after things that she can't see from where she is have changed. The two guys in the middle, if he's watching to see when the person to his right sets something down, and then he knows in the next turn he needs to put something down himself, and then he checks to see if something's down, and if it's not, he doesn't do anything, and then if it is, he picks it up. And if there's nothing down, and then if there's something down, and then... Okay, I can see that pattern. And the person to the left of him would be looking for that, but he would have to delay it by one. I don't know. If you have it set for when they listen for okay, they execute a routine that puts them back to the spot they heard okay, they could tell the next person on the left okay. Okay. So it all... For a second, I believed something there. That the more then I thought about it and realized it doesn't. At least I think it doesn't work. Because what I was thinking was, the first lady does her first thing. Is this gonna be so gross and ugly? No. No, that either. No, that either. Hastings is okay. Now I have no idea how the level's even meant to be done, actually. Looks like we're not beating the game this stream either. No, we definitely weren't. Now I have no idea how the level's meant to be done at all. Because the more that I think about this, I thought, okay, that's the way you do it. That's so convoluted and that's so explicit. You have to write so many lines of code for each individual, and you have to have all these different checks and stuff. There's got to be a better way. And now I'm sitting here going, I can't even imagine how it's supposed to be. How it's supposed to be done. Mason 250. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. I never heard more of this song than Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. That's it. That's all I've ever heard of it. Oklahoma, every night my honey lamb and I sit alone and talk and watch a hawk making lazy circles in the sky. I don't know. How about this? After tell, ready, listen for okay, jump to if upper left worker step up. So nested listening patterns. Nested listening patterns. The woman on the right controls everything. And she says okay to the person on her left. And that tells the person on the left to set their shit down. The person to her left set their shit down. And they shut their shit down. And then the next thing in their pattern would be to say okay So the next person, and how do I get that to translate into a cycle of 1, 2, 4, 8? How does her starting it off by saying okay to him turn into him saying to him okay at a 4 count, and that turns into him saying okay to her on the 8 count? Because he's got to switch his every 2 times. She switches hers every single time. On, off, on, off, on, off. He goes on, tick, off, tick, on, tick, off, tick. This guy's got to go on, tick, 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 off, tick, 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 on, tick, 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 off, tick, tick, tick. And she's just got to be tick, 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 on, on. Well, and read what I suggested. Identify the left woman, then have her move up 1 space, then use that to identify the guy. That does allow me to identify them as individuals. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I can identify the woman on the right, I can identify the woman on the left, and have them both step up, and then have the guys have another code for that, and then, yeah, that will allow me to distinguish from one person to the other. Yes. God, how I hate that. Because it means that I end up having to write the code for every individual, and that cannot be how this is intended to be done. But I don't see what they fucking want from me. And if they would have given me the right command, we'd be done with it by now. We'd be optimizing it, because it'd be like, hey, that was fun, that was quick and easy. Let's see if we can't get it down to a certain number of cycles. At least we now have a big idea of how to lay the vague thoughts of the frameworks. It can be done that way. You identify the woman on the right, and then she sets her own thing to 1. Everybody go away. If to the right is not a worker, I don't care what you do, man. Then set your own mem1 to 1. And if on my left there is not a worker, then set your mem1 to 8. And let's see, so if that and if that. I guess it might as well do this. It's going to be 2 lines of code if I try and do it the other way anyway. And then you could both, in fact, you could both just step down so that we're not going out of our way to do something we don't have to already do. You two could step down. The other people, so could we nest this maybe? Don't nest it yet. So that identifies the 2 of them. They step down. These 2 guys, they do need to be in else condition. They do. So it'd be like, if there's no one to my right, then if there's no one to my left, then I'm that person. And otherwise, I need to, like, wait. Both of them can set their mem1s to 2 to start with. And then once they've done that, check again if to my left is not equal to a worker, then set mem1 to 4, and now we've disambiguated everybody. And then you guys can both step down. Don't want the else there, just want this else. Both of you can step down. So... And then you stepped down as well, did you? Why did you step down? Oh, well this needed to be nested in that. So, you needed to be elsed into there, and you needed to be elsed into there as well. And then, if this left is not equal to else, mem1, if and then the both of you can step down. That's within the else now, yeah. So that would be like that. And then that should stop. Yeah, no, I'm trying to pause it. I'm going to pause it right there so that I can see what people have. Okay. No, we'll play your way game where I don't actually get to do debugging unless it's on your fucking timetable. Yeah, that's cool. Stop there. And now I can look and see. She's got the 1, he's got the 2, he's got the 4, and she's got the 8. There you go. 13 steps, but we have disambiguated everyone. You're counting from 0 to 15 in order. Cheered Jermasian 5. Did that cheer come through? Am I just so focused I didn't hear it? Blue Hero 164. Solve the problem with a good Kahoot game. What's a Kahoot game? I'd rather play that than this right now. This is just so fucking sloppy and messy. Just give me the goddamn right command. And stop controlling how I do my own fucking debugging. Yeah, I think you could do it with a frequency. The right always toggles, the rest toggle when the one to the right zeros. That's what I was thinking too, but wait, so the right always toggles, the rest toggle when the one to the right zeros. I've got it, I wrote out the binary for this, and I'm looking at the pattern here and trying to think of like how I would get the one on the left to not do anything. Because she's got to not do anything for 8 cycles. And that means for the last half of those cycles, from cycle 4 through 8, the one to her right is going to be a 1, and she needs to just continue to stay there and not do anything. And then when that switches back to a 0, she switches. So when it toggles out of the 1 state, she switches. When that toggles out of the 1 state, he switches. When that toggles out of the 1 state, you switch it. It toggles out of the 1 state, you switch it. And that toggles out of the 1 state, you switch it. And that toggles out of the 1 state, you switch it. That's the thing. That's the pattern that they've been trying to get me to look for. I mean, I've been trying to look for it, but Jesus Christ. They're trying to teach a very specific bit-flipping binary concept here. We got here, though. Like, this is exactly what I didn't want to have to do, because look at all that code just to disambiguate all these people. And apparently the deal is, pretty sure what I suggested is that pattern, says Major Wood Exit. What? Where? Ready, listen, okay, jump to if worker step. It's when the bit to your right shifts from the 1 state, then you flip. Doesn't matter what it's doing in the 0 state, but when it's the 1 state. So everyone has to be watching on every turn to see if something went down, and then they have to mark that something went down in their own internal memory and wait for it to not be there. And then when it's not there, they put theirs down, which means the cycle has to be delayed for her pressing the button because they need enough time for the person to the right of them to pull up the block, then they see the block has been pulled up, then they put their block down. And the woman on the right is just in a constant bit flip mode. Yeah. If Mem sees a 1 to the right and currently sees a 0. Yeah, except for the... Yeah, but the 0... Right. The 0 state is just it not being there. But there's got to be that delay. She needs to, like, give them time to go 2 cycles on that in order to get to it. No, it would make communicating this easier. So you're treating the directions like a compass. Up equals north. How would that help with the bit state that's always going to be down and to the right for the next one? So to formulate this pattern, everyone has to, if the direction to my right is where they'll end up standing, is equal, all 4 say ready. No, they can't do that. They can't all say ready, they can't listen. That's one of the big fucking annoyances on this, in this game. Is that you've got this gating, but it's just like, this is no Exapunks, okay? This is no Shenzhen IO, this is not a Zachtronics thing. This is a sensor? That's a new thing. A button? I can test for whether a button exists or a sensor exists. Oh, I love that you're introducing new things constantly. That's cool. So, if what is to my right is equal to a sensor, now I can know if it's a 0 state, although I could have just said, well, no, I couldn't have said nothing. I could have said a person. This game is fucking weird. The people who made this game. They're strong in the fundamentals. The deeper you get in, the more, like, game design falls away, and you just get a view into their minds. And their minds are very specific minds. I would not want these people to write me an API to have to deal with, is what I'm saying. Jesus. So presuming I get them all standing down here, holding their buttons, holding their things, the concept here will be to look to your right, and if it's equal to a 1, in specific, because we'll be setting these data cubes down. So if what's to your right is equal to a 1, you need to, like, set something in your own memory. So let's say memory 2. Why? I don't know. Memory 2, you'll be set to a 1, because it is a 1. So set that to a 1, and then from there on, you would have to then test, like, if mem2 is equal to that 1, and the space to my right is not equal to a 1 anymore, then I drop mine. Now, when do you pick it back up? Okay, if I'm standing in that column, and I'm waiting for the 1 to disappear in order to know when I should set down my 1. Now my 1's down. When I see a 1 go back down, I pick mine up. And that applies for all columns? No. How do I know when to pick mine back up? If I've got one down. So when the one goes down, I set that one down. Sure. In this column, I know to pick that back up when the 0 to my right set mine down, he puts a 1, and then there's a 1 again, and then there's a 0. We have another problem. Because where I can definitely see the pattern, where we've established that the pattern of this is when the person to my right picks up their 1, that's when I drop my 1 down. In the third column, from the right, in the 4's place. Okay? When the 2's place picks up its 1, I put my 1 down. Then the 2's place has a 0 there. They have a 0 there. Then they have a 1 there. Then they have a 1 there. And then they have a 0 there. And then I pick it back up. So, is the pattern... Let's see, now in the 2's place, if I'm looking at the right side, I see the 1 go down, I put my 1 down. 0, and then a 1, and then a 0 again. A 0, and then a 1, and then I pick mine up. So it's a 0, 1, and then a 0, and then there's just the 0. I think I see the pattern, which is that you have to skip a 0 and a 1 stage, and then when the 1 gets pulled back up, you pull yours up. And so, in order to make this work, this is going to be the slowest fucking process known to man. And, bit flipping is supposed to be like, you know, really fast, right? That's how the math is done on the CPU level. This is going to be the slowest fucking process known to man, because every single cycle that the girl in green pigtails, you know, needs to press the button on, she's going to have to wait for the first person to do what they do, the second person to have a chance to consider what they're going to do, the third person to have a chance to consider what they're going to do, the fourth person to have a chance to consider what they're going to do, all in reference to the person before them, and then enough time for that last person to finally do it, and then she can step down. So every cycle is going to take 5 or 6 calc cycles, which are the long cycles. But I think I see it now. Let's bring you guys along anyway. Can I just fuck you, game? Okay, can I show any of the things that I've got in Notepad++ right now? Yeah, it's all fine. It's all fine. So, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, Jesus, that's small. Can I zoom it? View? Zoom? Ah, it's Control+. So, here's the pattern for the binary. It's 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. There we go. There we go. So the pattern would be when the 1 gets pulled up, when that 1 becomes a 0, then this becomes a 1. And that 1 remains until another 1 comes in and then is pulled up, and then we get a 0. Then we flip this bit again. So when we see this 1 pulled up, we put our 1 down in the next cycle. When we see this 1 pulled up, we flip our bit to a 0 again. And in this column, we see that when this 1 goes down, we wait until this 1 comes back up to a 0, and then we can put our 1 down. And then we keep that 1 in there until we see another cycle of 1s come through, and then the 1 get pulled up again, and then we flip our 0 in time with that. Which is that on a different cycle count then? Because, like, when this 1 gets pulled up, we need to look to our right, see that, and then put this down. So that's going to be a process where we have to see what they've done, and then we can respond to it, and we have to do that in the same cycle. Because we can't, if we did it over here and we were just waiting to see that they put the 1 down, and then we knew, okay, in the next cycle I'll put mine down, that wouldn't work for over here, where we're seeing that, you know, like, 1, we look over and see, oh, they put the 1 down, we need to leave our 1 in place. Or over here in 0, oh, they put the 1 down, we need to leave our 0 in place. It's only when the 1 comes up, and then during that cycle, when the 1 has come up, we need to flip our bit to a 1 there. Now, for, like, pulling it back up, though, to flip it in reverse, so the 0s and then the 1s, when we're going to flip back to the 0, is we see the 1 come up, and in the same cycle that the 1 is pulled away, we flip again. So the bit flip is triggered on the same condition every time, and the condition is a 1 disappearing. Does that sound right? The 1 disappears, and then in that same cycle, we can drop we flip our bit. It's not about 1s and 0s, we flip our bit. So we flip our bit when in that cycle we saw the 0, we saw the 1 leave. So when we see the person next to us flip their bit, see, we start on 0 and then we go to 1. They flip their bit to 0, and then we put ours in. They flip their bit to 1, and we don't do anything. No, it's specifically locked to the true state. When the true state becomes false, when the 1 becomes a 0, in the same turn, we flip our bit. When the 1 becomes a 0, in the same turn, we flip our bit. Let's do it here. When the 1 becomes a 0, it's been 0s all the way up to here, we flip our bit. When the 1 becomes a 0, in the same turn, we flip our bit. So the condition is right. It does work on both sides, the in and the out. Hard to see on the page. I wrote it exactly the same way, but once I got it here, it's easier to see. But that does mean that every cycle is going to be exactly that long, because we're going to have the opportunity for the person standing to the left to look to the right, see that the bit has flipped, to have seen in the previous one that this was a 1, this was a true, and now it's gone. And now, in the same cycle, I need to do that. And everybody needs to have that same opportunity to see that, oh, that 1 disappeared there, so that means I need to flip my bit as well. When the 1 turns into a 0, you are in deep sleep. Major Dagsworth said, I think I need to see what I wrote out happen visually in the game before I can really do much more to help. Let's see, this is what I got so far. Pick up, down, step down, step down. If up left is worker, step up, left, tell left, ready, listen for okay, jump to A, else, drop. I am not going back to it. I am not going back to it tonight. But that is the condition that they wanted to enumerate, apparently, that the designers wanted to, you know, show. was that it's not even really about bit flipping, it's about the positive bit being flipped, isn't it? I mean, can you do this in the reverse? Am I just seeing this the way that I want to see this? Could you say it's all about when the false turns to a 1? When the false, if we looked at it in the opposite direction, when the false becomes a 1, we flip our bit. Like, this one gets flipped because that one turned into a 1 instead of the 1 unflipping. So from here, the 0, the false becomes a 1, and in that same turn, this one becomes a 0. The false becomes a 1, and in the same turn, that becomes a 0. The false becomes a 1, and that same turn, that turns to a 0. Yeah, I guess you can see it in the reverse as well. The pattern in the reverse also. I feel like I still haven't wrapped my head around it because that actually opens it up to the idea of the bit flipping. I trained to trance easily. You're just seeing it the way you want to, and it's causing you to focus too heavily on micromanaging the workers. No, my whole thing here, Major Exelbirth, is obviously I'm trying to, like, you know, work out the bit flipping here so I don't have to worry about the workers individually. The reason why I'm trying to identify this pattern and understand it is so that I can write one function that works for all of the workers, where they all just get to look to their right or look to their left and see, okay, I remember that used to be a this, and it's become a that, and therefore I do this. I'm not trying to control them from the very beginning. My whole fucking, for the past 2 hours we've been staring at this problem or whatever, has all been about how do I write this so that I don't have to write what we started on after 45 minutes of me sitting here going, I don't want to do it that way. There's got to be another way. I didn't want to have to control the workers individually. I wanted one algorithm, and that's what we've been going for the whole time. And we've come to the end of a Roninpawn live stream. Merry Christmas, everyone! Fucking holiday. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? A short stream, yes, only 3 hours and 50 minutes long. It's nice and short. Well, that was, that was that. I can't leave it there, can I? I'm saving what I wrote out for next time, says Major Exelbirth. Okay. Fuck's sake, Paul, and the stream is too short. Yeah, it's only 3 hours and 50 minutes, and we only did another 2.5 hour live stream. You know, if you'd be reasonable with me, I'd feel less bad about being unreasonable with you. Gervais cheering 3,000 Merry Christmas. See, now that's what I need to focus on. Where's my goddamn Christmas music? There it is. Copyright strike incoming. You can't play taps. Even though it's a funeral dirge for the military. Someone's claimed it. Merry insert nearby holiday of choice and have a good insert time of day, everyone. And to you. It's a good thing I've got weed around. It's a really good thing. You guys want to program a Sudoku generator real quick? No? When will we be back? We'll be back this Wednesday. Christmas is, Tuesday. It's 2 days from now. I'm going to be going out to my mother's tomorrow night to be there for Christmas Eve. Kind of a tradition, I guess. Something she likes anyway. For me to come out and stay the night, and we have, Christmas Eve, a holdover from back when we used to actually go to the family Christmases. So we'd have our Christmas on Christmas Eve, and then we'd get up and go out to the family Christmas, drag ourselves out to that. We don't do that anymore. Both of us are in ill health. So we got a good excuse. But we still like to do that, so I'm going to be staying the night out there. By Wednesday, I will absolutely be back home, and we'll, do a live stream where I'm not so cranky and bitchy. I do apologize. I did, however, warn you that I'd been up since 11 p.m. The day before. However, I will say this. You have all succeeded at your job today, and I congratulate you and thank you for your help, which is to keep me up through bitchy, whiny, moany, complainy, hatey, everything. Pawn, you've managed to keep me awake. So now all I have to do is try and fall asleep in the next 5 hours. You get that, third wind when you're staying up this long, don't you? Then it just undoes all your effort. Weak stomach. What's the thing with Merry Christmas? I'm a fucking Russian. Understand, please. I don't know. I'm not into it myself. I'm a Buddhist. Nobody ever tells me Happy Buddha's birthday. The fuck? And again, Christmas really isn't around about Christ. And actually, Christianity isn't much about it. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. They're pulling me off. I'm not allowed. Oh, I said something wrong. I am the Roninpawn. See you Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pawn out.
A full-time sea was clear, the sea was wide. And in it swam the Savior, having the time of her life.